And we are good. Feel free to give a recap of last episode and
That only I could properly remember it.
basically we're going to help. From what I remember, we were going to help Trollia later, but she gave us a tip as to go of what to go do.
Well, you guys left.
She's a smart
Julio
girl.
and Blair's domain. Well, asked Lorelei for a ride over to Boulderport, to which she accepted because she owed you a favor, and was like, "Sure, yeah, why not?" But kind of noticed something that could become an issue and suggested that leaving would be a great idea anyway. So plans have went to Boulderport, the town connected to Boulderport. Boulder Wharf, the city where we meant to go, where something may or may not be happening soon. And oh, I did something happen. Dragons attack. Dragons didn't attack. A dragon fell from the sky because it was fighting with a lightning dragon. And oh boy, did she look injured. Now, about a day or so after she fell and into the mountains, everybody was like, "Hey, that's weird. We haven't seen dragons in decades, even." And whoa,
You're lagging a little.
I am. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
It seemed to be coming through fine on my end.
Oh, then it's just me being stupid. That's
it's just your internet being stupid, not you. You're smart.
You're a big smart, apparently.
Me and big brain, apparently.
You is biggest of brain, the hoarder of the goop. Anyway. Just before you're gonna go on an expedition to meet this dragon, or if it was dead, and to plunder the resources you could gather from it, a storm started to roll in, and it was an obviously weird storm. And as it started to look coming towards where Boulder Wharf is, and where you guys are, you see dragon climbing up on a mountain, breathing fire into it, and it creates a tornado. That was still much southwestward. Wasn't going to reach you for a while. It still looked dangerous. So you all helped with the help of Lorelei's crew, who were experienced in this, evacuating Boulderport and taking them to the nearest town, and then from there to the nearest city that I never named because I'm dumb and I didn't think anybody would go there.
You am big brain. Don't forget.
Me am unprepared DM, so me am average DM. But happened to be where the Sapphire staff had been established, thankfully, because the Sapphire staff is sort of the company that handle things medicine, care, education, and most real estate. So, thankfully, they were prepared for this. Also thanks to our rogue June, who went in ahead and was like, "Hey, you're going to get a city full of people soon. Be prepared. Some are injured."
When did this happen? I'm stupid.
It's okay.
You all made it. It was about a 6-day journey, and that's kind of where we left.
Yep.
I thought we left off with the dragon.
Well, you did also see the dragon. You saw her. You met her, Trelia, red dragon, and very injured and very old.
Yep.
Reeves got a scale. He was very. Yeah, another souvenir for Granny.
And the fact I'm just laughing at the mentioning of seeing a dragon because, like, It brings to mind the old musical Pete's Dragon. And the whole drunk song about a dragon. I think I saw a dragon. It was such an old movie, but good God.
You all were inside the city,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of getting found. You all have a room. You all have to large room.
Yep.
Due to the limited housing.
That's
there
fine.
is one room per group of people, but depending on the size of the group of people, how did I get that on my shirt? Depending on the size that you got. Don't mind me, I found brownie batter on my shirt and I didn't realize it was there.
It was a whole bowl that you took.
Surprise!
Please do introduce yourselves while I change my shirt.
Alright, everybody. I guess I'll go first just to start things off. I am Stormcaller. I play my character Hanzo and his host June. Hanzo being a symbiont, which is effectively just a ooze that pairs up with a creature and makes them a bit stronger. They generally pair up to commoners just because they're easy to either control or make stronger. I am playing a rogue currently. As for that, I'll let someone else go.
I'm Mia, and I play Reeves, who is a druid, in half Trident, half Gemini. In Genasi, that's right. And that's about it.
Alright.
Anybody else go?
I am Gart. I play a lizard folk barbarian called Gart. I am a lizard. I have a large axe to chop stuff with, and that's...
Hi, I'm Token. I'm playing Triton Paladin of Redemption. Her name is Nyx. She's not very smart, but man, can she talk to people?
And man, can she hit things and cure things
Yeah,
and do everything?
not everything. Don't ask her to read a book.
Aw.
Alright. I mean, you could recall things about wolves better than I could.
That's just because I got a good roll.
And our missing player, it plays the wizard Mad Jack Thatcher, who, unfortunately, the player is currently having computer problems and will not be here this week.
Big sad, big sad.
I hope a wizard.
So I'm guessing we're just gonna be in this room. How long have we been in this room?
I'll say it's about morning of some day.
Okay.
However, whatever sleeping arrangement you've concocted. There's like one bed.
June would have
It's
slept.
just like a large bedroom that you were all just kind of held up in.
Alright. June would have slept with her back to the wall and her left side on the ground.
I sleep somewhere on the floor. He doesn't mind.
Mostly due to the fact
He's
that
used to
Genji.
floating.
Yeah. Of course, that little positioning is mostly due to Genji teaching her to sleep in a position that makes it hard for someone to strike at her heart while she is asleep.
Oh damn.
I guess.
Whoa!
Ooh.
Ooh, your computer does not like you today, computer.
It's like,
Yeah.
it's like ear rape.
Do I sound alright?
Now you're much better.
Much better.
Whoa.
Okay. Well, Gart is just... He slept in the corner, curled up like a cat.
Aw.
A lizard full cat.
Alright.
I love it.
Let's see. June would have gotten up early because, well, she's used to after spending time training with Genji.
Huh?
That and she's used to getting up to make breakfast for her dad.
For a wee bit of context, Genji is my Overwatch a long time ago. And also June's teacher. She's from the same city.
Yep.
And have interests.
I'm gonna have. She's gonna pull out her alchemist supplies and just set to work on making more medicine. The way the party has it.
Alright.
Let's see here. Let me double check the recipe requirement. It's a DC 13 for 25 gold to make 1d4 plus 1 medicine ball.
Oh, Nick seeing June do some sort of alchemy. She
Man.
would come over. She would come over and ask,
Fuck.
"What are you doing?"
Oh, I just wasted some ingredients.
I was gonna help you. I just wanted to roleplay a little bit.
Oh. You know what? Can we retcon that since I really should have listened there?
You probably should have, sure.
Yeah, alright. June will look up as she's about to pour ingredients. Oh, I'm just making medicine.
Are you in need of aid?
I would appreciate some assistance.
Alright.
Alright. And I guess I'll take the help. With the help action, I'll take advantage on this.
Can I help too?
I mean, sure.
Yes.
Of course, Hanzo is going to do his best to assist as well. He's technically not giving the help action since he's a part on June, but he's handling ingredients for her. There we go, nat 20.
Nice.
Nice. Wow.
Would a nat 20
Nice.
Would a nat 20 up the quality of the produced item?
Not really, it just means you did expediently well in handling
Good.
the ingredients. And
That
you did
means-
also have
Go ahead.
you had help, so it wouldn't necessarily improve anything. It would just
All
it
right.
just means you did expertly and didn't waste as much time as you did when you wasted ingredients.
Right. Let me roll. How many? 3 more medicine ball. Of the
Nice.
weak variant.
What do these do exactly?
They're effectively half of a common healing potion. But
Makes no
they're
sense.
very, very bitter.
I
We
can
should probably get some of those.
I could fix that, most likely. I'm a cook. I could probably make these taste less bitter.
Here. June will take a vial, put 4 of them in it so Nyx can experiment.
Alright.
Here you go. She'll keep 2 on her in case of an emergency.
Alright, so you had 6, you gave 4 to Nick.
Yep.
No, rhyme not intended. And
Basically, she's keeping 2 for an emergency, or she needs to play sick again.
Is it alright?
Did
Is
anybody
it
say
alright?
anything important? I'm sorry, I was putting on a shirt.
No.
No. I was just about to ask you, though, if I could use my cook's utensils, because this is part of the artisan tool, to make these taste better.
You'll have to taste one first,
Oh,
I'm
no.
afraid.
Okay.
Alright.
So roll your
It's
constitution save.
It's a DC 10 con save not to vomit.
Let's see what happened.
Oh no!
You start feeling it. You're feeling it coming. You're about to vomit in one action, so you can do whatever you need to do in 6 seconds.
Find the
I go
chamber
over
pot.
I find something to vomit in, like a chamber pot.
You're there because these rooms do have bathrooms. Well, the upper floor ones do, and you're on the upper floor.
Okay, so there's a toilet. Good.
It's down the hall to the right. You hope it's not full.
June,
But it's not.
June chases
Is
to
there a
make
wi-
sure.
Is there a window I could vomit out of?
Sure, leads right down to the street.
Oh god! Either way, it's gonna be bad. But June will just. June
I'm
will
gonna
just.
vomit.
You're gonna vomit out the window.
Yeah.
Okay,
Alright.
you know what? June just feels bad, so she'll hold back your hair.
I'm gonna say, for the sake of how funny it would be, roll a. God, what would that be? A dexterity check to try to aim away where you immediately see people or where you hope people aren't.
It'd probably be a yeah.
Oof.
Oh no! Oh no!
Is it funny that this is happening while I'm eating? I'm fine. I got a stomach of wrought iron. You don't quite hit anybody directly, but there is some splash damage.
And a sudden cat noise.
No, just splash damage and a lot of ah! And people looking up and just seeing this Triton woman, with her hair being held back, looking sick and kind of dizzy, and that shaky feeling that you get after throwing up.
Yeah. June's like,
Oh,
come on, let's sit you down.
Is it that bad?
I'll be honest, alchemical medicine can be very bitter. It's beneficial, but bitter.
I'll
Now
fix
you're
those.
really hungry.
Sure, you know what? Here, take the other two. I'll trust you
Now
with
you have
this.
5 medicine balls.
Since they are your creation, I'd like your assistance in making them more
Certainly. I think if we sweeten them a bit, it should lessen the impact. So June will
Okay.
give the help action on this. Genji, of course, will extend pseudopods as part of this.
What?
Yeah. You see her sleeves kind of turn into a liquid and extend what appear to be pseudopods.
Poke the pseudopod.
It reacts like you poked someone's hand. Don't mind Genji, he's not very talkative. I mean, don't mind. God damn it! Don't mind Hanzo, he's not very talkative. You see a small form pop up on a shoulder. Well, I choose not to talk because you're less threatening. As it just plop, just goes back down.
I had no idea it could talk.
Yeah, he can, but he mostly talks to me upstairs. Taps the side of her head.
There are no stairs in your head.
He talks. He's telepathic, but only while attached to me.
That's odd.
He's a very unique creature,
My
and
first instinct was to lick. My first instinct was to lick it.
I mean, would you? There are still pseudopods out.
Nick says that she would lick it out loud, and then she starts to move towards to lick it.
Oh no! Hanzo's just like, June, what do I do? Well, June's just watching this fascinated, not answering him.
Wait, what happened just now? I disconnected for a second.
Nix is trying to lick Hanzo.
What does June?
It isn't really a taste. It's more of a texture. It's kind of like, if it were to have a taste, it'd be like gum that is mostly flavorless.
So gum after the flavor has just disappeared entirely and it tastes like your own spit.
A little bit, yeah.
And a time you killed some people. Well, not quite killed, but you have damaged people.
Yeah. Like, he tastes like, honestly, he would taste a little bit like faintly meaty because of all the organic matter he consumes. And
Okay.
proteins are a good chunk of it.
Okay. Nyx. She doesn't just lick. I'll try to keep it family friendly, but she's currently now sucking on the pseudopod.
Nom nom nomming on it, okay.
Yeah. It's a weird scene.
Why?
June would shiver because she can feel that. Because they have
Here's how we keep it family friendly. You remember Buck in Ice Age 3, Dawn of the Dinosaurs, when he licks the dirt and then swishes it around in his mouth? I think that's what
Yeah, probably. As June can feel that because they have a somewhat interconnected nervous system while he's on her.
kind of feels like someone's giving you a hickey on your neck, but like non-directly. It's weird.
Hanzo would pull out and then lightly touch Nyx's forehead with a wet pseudopod. Just kind of running the pseudopod on her forehead before shaking off. And then pulling the pseudopod in and producing a clean one. That way he's not
Anyway,
handling food with saliva.
Anyway, let's get to cooking, shall we?
Yeah. Oh!
Oh, dear.
Call you silly again.
You make a fantastic meal downstairs using the kitchen, but the cook is happily like, please, if you want to make some food for your pals, do so. I'm busy.
Neat. Well, that and with that nat 20, the alchemical healing agents are now palatable, and I make breakfast.
Amazing. Now they don't... would they not require a con save, or would they take a -5 to the DC?
I'll say the DC is 5 and it would take a critical fail and low constitution modifier. Which
Okay.
seems fair enough.
So the DC has been halved, basically.
Yeah.
Alright, that works. So good work. You made them much more useful.
I will say, the next time you were to make these, if
Mhm.
Nyx is not assisting you in the same way, then they will be just as bitter as before, with the same DC.
Right, but if Nyx does assist me, they'll come out better.
They'll come out as they have now.
Alright. I'll just note that in the recipes and creation section, improved medicine ball, Nyx required for crafting.
Yeah.
Thankfully, they're all the same ingredients, just more of them. And more refined, so... They just have higher DCs because of how they're made. Nyx required. DC. Con. There we go. So that's actually a major benefit. Of course, June will do the usual Japanese thank you for the food and then start eating.
Itadakimasu.
Yes, that's it. I couldn't think of how to pronounce it for some reason.
I used to
Ooh.
follow a YouTuber who is Emmy in Japan, actually lives in the same state as me, which is weird. And that's what she would say about what you'd eat in every video. So
Mm.
that's how I know that I'm not that much of a...
Right.
Yes, you are.
Listen, it's not actually said that much in Japanese-based anime. I will have you know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But yeah. So, and of course, Nyx would notice that June eats a lot more than someone of her size should, which would probably click that Hanzo needs some of it too.
I mean,
At one
is
point.
Hanzo eating?
He's getting the nutrients from June.
Does he not like to eat?
He needs me to process the food. He can break down most matter, well, organic substances, but if I process it, he gets more nutrients out of it.
Alright.
Also, let's just say he's pretty helpful.
In
June.
what way?
I'm going to... For the sake of the fact that you're in a tavern with someone boosting some morale, this place. Because I love this. It's amazing. Any more sweet RP?
Yeah. Yeah, June's just gonna sit at the table. Once she finishes eating, she just spins her Thunderstone on the table, making sure she doesn't drop it.
Alright.
because she knows it's going to go with a loud boom if she drops it. And that would
Yeah.
scare a lot of people.
Yeah, it would.
120-foot radius. And if she drops it close to her, she has to save or be deafened.
Yeah, that's not good if that happens. This is the lore. That's not needed for you guys today. Hopefully. Probably.
But yeah. June's basically just working. She'll just look to Nyx. I'll let you hold on to those medicine balls. It might be good if you can distribute them when we need them.
Oh,
I don't
that's
know.
amazing! Sorry, I just made a discovery.
Ah,
I don't suggest that. She taps on her greatsword.
okay, that's fair. Tell you what, why don't I take 3 of them and you hold on to 2 for yourself?
Alright.
Mainly because they deal 1d4 plus 1 HP with 1.
Alright. If no one else wants to do anything in particular.
Yep.
I wanted to talk to
Oh, you did?
Reese.
Alright.
Yeah.
Alright.
Nyx pulls the Reeves off to the side.
Oh.
It's not for any lewd reasons. To talk to.
Alright.
Reeves, how are you doing with everything being on the surface and all that?
Oh, I'm doing good. It's just new, but take it with a stride.
Alright then.
Oh, alright. That's it? Yeah, you
That's
were
about
worried
it.
about me.
I have a few other things to. I wasn't worried. Looks away.
Such a tsundere, you.
Can I punch? I'm gonna attempt to punch Reeves.
I guess.
I think I'm pretty sure that's straight.
Yeah, make an attack with your strength.
No!
Reeves, a dexterity save to try to dodge it.
Ah,
It doesn't hit your AC anyway.
oh my god.
It was amazing.
I love that the strength modifier is +5. I
Poor.
think that's my favorite.
Yeah,
God, that's gonna be.
that was just good rolls.
Oh, that's funny.
Am I good? Or am I.
You're good. You're good.
Oh, there. I'm
Let's
sorry, I
see.
didn't mean it.
She pinches his cheek and drags him back to the table.
Just the whole way. Ow, ow, ow.
Why'd you do that?
The DM ships the.
Well, when they get back, while they were over, June would have actually turned to Groot. So, Groot, think we should see if Spiven wants to go with us to shoot. Okay, she's trying to. Gonna have to make a history check on this, I think. But where did Trolley want us to go?
That's a good question. Let's see. This is. Oh, that's right. I had it. Yeah, from the. Yeah. All right. Let me see if I wrote it down someplace, and that wasn't one of the many things I blew out of my ass for no reason last week. Yeah, no. Last thing I have written down was one of your conversations with Leather. So.
Oof.
I don't think she had a mind. I think she literally just told you guys effectively to level up and come back.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
Alright. Well, June's just gonna look to Groot then. Should we go look around?
That would be good.
Alright, see if we can gather some info.
As you're about to get up, though, how do I describe? I haven't described him in so long. A relatively lanky-looking man with bright red hair, a very big smile, and a gentle face walks up to you, and he's got a green cloak on that covers most of him, but you can see his arms, and you can kind of see his arms as he opens them up, and most of his body, and he looks pretty lanky. He has a bow on his back, and he's like, "Hello, are you adventurers?"
I mean, call us that.
Lovely. I need help. Can you help?
Okay. Have a seat and explain. June
Cool,
sits down and tenses her fingers, looking at him.
Great. My name is Thomas. Nice to meet you. And he extends his hand to shake each of your hands.
Yep. June shakes.
Points finger guns at Nyx and Reeves. And gives them a wink.
Reeves is still kind of rubbing his cheek dejectedly.
He points finger guns at you and gives you a wink, and it doesn't quite seem to be flirty as much as it seems familiarity.
Confusion.
And he starts. So, with this whole thing going on, and he puts his hands up and makes circles with his finger. There have been other things going on, and I've been tasked with one of those things, but I need help, I think. Most likely will. There's been a thing with the crops down south-ish by the desert, by the mountains by the desert, and I might need some help with curing that blight, because I think that from past experience, it may or may not be demonic or abyssal, and I'm with that alone.
Okay.
So can I ask you for help?
Well, Groot, why don't you confer with the group here? Actually, wait, is Spivot with them?
No, Spivot is elsewhere with the crew.
Alright, June's gonna be like, I'll be right back, Groot. Why don't you confer with Nyx and company, and I will go find Spivot, see if she wants to come with us. As June's just gonna wander off to find Lorelei to inquire with her, since she's likely to know where everyone in her crew is.
Perhaps. I'm gonna say, because Lorelei sometimes, and right now amidst the
Would it be investigation?
controlled chaos, yeah, I'll say make an.
That's a 12. Probably not.
It'll take you a bit of a while.
Okay.
So while you're looking around for Lorelei and or crew, hello. Huh? Whoa! Ah! Thank you.
And that is the sound of a burger being tossed at our wonderful GM.
No, that is the sound of a jumbo honey bun from Hostess being thrown at me in the direction of me, where there's also a candle that it would land in the candle.
Okay, there's the sound of a jumbo honey bun being thrown at our DM and the cat.
Nope, the cat is elsewhere. Yeah, no, she's laying on clothes.
Okay.
Despite such a distraction, Thomas is gonna explain some stuff, and I don't know. I wish I had better music for that. I don't though. Onyx Mire music. Why not? Onyx Mire was fun. We all liked Onyx Mire, sort of.
No.
Your
No, I
experience
don't like
was different,
design.
Mia.
Shut up. My children almost died.
This was a different game.
Mm.
Regardless, Thomas claps his hand together and says, "So, what are all your names?" I'm Thomas, as I said.
I am Gert.
Nice to meet you, Garut. Points to Nick.
I am Reeves. Hello, that is me.
Hello, Reeves. Gives you another
Hello.
wink.
Wait, he does a double wink back. The big smile on his face.
Just as a wink wonk.
Wink walk.
Nick's
I don't think
face
he
palm.
understands what he meant.
Nick's face palms when Reeves starts talking.
Just whenever I start talking, thanks. I love the
I'm just
support.
glad Nix isn't wearing a helmet, otherwise there'd be an audible clang.
I'm Nyx. That's all you need to know.
Perfect, Nix. Gives you another wink.
Shifty eyes.
What is wrong with your eye?
nothing. Let's just say they are familiar, but not familiar because I met them directly. Anyway, that's a secret though.
What?
Don't worry about it. You may or may not know in the future. Let's just say you might recognize me downstairs.
Oh, this is
I
good.
promise
I
that the
don't get
context is actually really different, but can be taken in several ways.
Yeah, indeed. Ah.
This character speaks. Some of the joke can be taken in so many ways.
You might recognize me from the downstairs. It's like, wait. I'm still confused.
Don't worry. Anyway, so
Tell me.
there have been things happening down south in this town called Hadley, where Topaz. Have you heard of Topaz? Make a history check if you've heard of Topaz. If you want.
June's not
Yeah,
there, so
I'll
she
make a
can't.
check based off of knowledge.
I got nothing.
Alright.
Mm. 4 on the die. Ouch.
Hold up.
Go
Where
to
is
your
that?
Let's see
character
if
sheet.
Let's see if the
Go
only
to
other
your
person
character
can do
sheet,
it.
the big long box with all the fancy words, and click the history.
Oh!
Aw.
Topaz doesn't exist!
Okay. No, wait. You see this roll? That represents how useful I'm gonna be for the rest of this game. So good luck, guys.
You'll be okay.
That's what you say now, but then.
If June is asked when she gets back, she might. No, she's got okay history.
Well,
What are
you
you
guys have
talking
no
about?
idea what Topaz
Topaz?
is. You won't give him, huh? Look, and and he
Oh
goes,
god, when the rogue is the high intelligence character.
and he kind of goes, all right, that's fair. Oh, so Topaz is one of the many companies, but there's like 4, that help run this whole place called Calvida that we call home. Those are the people that handle food. They like to do all the crops, all the livestock, and Hadley is kind of their production center, and where they grow all kinds of things, and they have all kinds of gardens for things. They came up with that whole shtick of greenhouses to grow things that they can't grow in that kind of environment. It's pretty genius, if you ask me. But there's been some stuff happening there involving the crops dying and being poisonous, and people have died, and that's not good. So I was sent by the people that I run with to go check it out. But I feel like that from past experiences, this may or may not be demonic and or abyssal or worse, so I don't want to do so alone. Can you please help me?
That does not sound good.
It is
Okay.
not good. people are dying because of food. That's never good.
It is never good. What
Plus,
color
it's
eyes
like
do
drive up
dragons
the
have?
prices of food, and like nobody can afford food in the first place. So, it's a double-edged sword, that one.
I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna say no.
Mm-hmm.
All right, wonderful. Where did your friend go, by the way?
I don't know.
I have no friends. What? Just kidding.
She'll probably be back at some point.
She went to look for another one of our companions.
Did
Oh,
she
that's what
now? I'd love to meet one of your companions.
Wink wonk.
DM shudders and needs to play 2 NPC who are probably going to talk to each other and have drastically different voices.
Practice. After all, Matthew
Yay.
Mercer does it all the time.
I mean, Matthew Mercer isn't just recovering from a cold, because I've missed like 6 episodes of Critical Role. No idea what's happening at the moment, but apparently Bo's backstory has become involved. But at one point, Juna will say that you find Lorelai, and she tells you about where Spivot probably is, and she's a bunch of children. And she's telling these, which at first you think that's maybe not the best.
Lorelai's telling stories to kids.
Children. No, like, and when I say combat stories, I mean she's telling them about times that she's to death, but the way her voice speaks makes it all seem like a fun tale. Actually enjoying it somehow, and you're like, okay.
June looks at her as she walks away. She's like, "Damn, she should have been a bard." As she goes to find Spivot.
All right, you walk up to her and tap her on the shoulder, as she's flexing a bicep. Spivot would be a tiefling monk, by the way, and pointing at one of her hundreds of scars, telling them about where it came from.
Yep.
And then she goes, "Oh, June, hi.
Hey, Spivot, we got a job.
Do we?
Yep.
Okay. Where?
Come on. There's a village to the south, near the south mountains, that's having some trouble. We'll get the rest of the details from our other party member who is basically co-opting us for help."
Alright. And then she follows you.
Yep. June, of course, just walks back to the table, gives Groot a wave on the way back so he spots her.
Waves back.
Alright. For publicly internet context, Spivot is a gray tiefling with one broken horn and a half of her ears torn off, riddled in scars. When I say riddled in scars, I mean it's like her skin is almost white from scar tissue. She's got a bright pink mohawk, spiked up about 2-ish inches, and gets shorter as it gets down to the back. And just straight black eyes, pink eyebrows as well, which is. And she's dressed in kind of attire that I have drawn but have not finished drawing, so that'll be up somewhere.
Best way to say is it's a very piratey.
It's piratey, it's got stripes, and it's got a cool, so like, think Beauregard in a Critical Role, but like straight up a pirate and a gray tiefling. It's kind of a bow aesthetic, I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
Anyway.
Yep.
She walks up, she goes, "Groot!" and hugs him with a great big hug, as per usual greeting of Groot.
Small one. And he hugs her back.
June's just grinning. June's just grinning because she's happy. Whenever Spivot's happy, at this point she's happy because, like, she knows her dad would be really upset if something happened to her.
Yeah.
Because they get along so well.
Spivot is also an accidental theme. To anybody who's like, oh, she's just flaunting a cool character. No, she was purely accidental.
Yeah, the party basically were like, nope, we're keeping this one.
Yeah, I needed a monk stats. I couldn't find any offhand monk stats. Like, I have a monk, I'll throw her in for temporary fight pit shenanigans.
And then you were just
they
like, oh.
ah, interesting, I like this one. So, yeah. That's what happened. That's how she's been incorporated as a significant NPC campaign.
Yep.
To people who don't like DMPCs, but
Yeah.
it is purely accidental. Anyway, she sees the guy with the green cloak and the beautiful red hair and goes, I'm Spivot. Nice to meet you. It's lovely to meet you too. Clasp him, and he looks like a man. My God, you're great. And like, so this is your other patron, Thomas. So we're gonna head down south to Hadley, just a little bit north of the Mahobe Ridge, by that desert, and it's a farming town, almost a city, but like not quite. It's weird and quite been established yet because there isn't quite a city hall to establish it as a city. So it's just kind of a really big village at this point.
Right.
It's an awkward thing. EJ has just not decided to establish it fully yet on any maps, so it's just kind of got a big house symbol on it.
He and his annoying pixie pops out of his cloak.
Nope. Nope, that is just my notification ringtone telling me that a mobile game wanted me to do something. So when do you want to leave, guys?
Honestly, we're basically prepped to go, I think. Looks at the group.
Wait, did we take a long rest?
Yeah.
Yes, you guys just woke up. This is the morning.
Then I am ready. Right up early, and
Yep.
I've woken up. My eyes have opened.
June is like, looks at Reeves, bring the pie.
Hell yeah.
I assume you guys put the pie in the snack pack.
Yeah. Because it's
Wait.
infinite pie. Garut has a small bag that can hold food.
You got the snack pack of holding.
Yep. It keeps things cold.
Like, I just got flashbacks of, like, oh, I miss him. I want to play him again.
Some previous context that will happen between me and Reeve. There was a previous test campaign that I ran of what these, but they have progressed much more. And Reeves had been playing a Goliath barbarian named Keegan, and he gained the Smelly Jack, the snack pack of holding, and filled it up with 400-year-old wine. Not dissimilarly to what Garut has been established to do. And so there will be a lot of flashback moments to that campaign between me and Reeves.
Mm-hmm.
For established context.
Indeed.
Alright.
You guys.
So you guys have pie. Thomas is like, you guys have infinite pie. That sounds amazing.
Yes.
And also unhealthy.
It could be just about any kind of pie, actually. If you take the pie off the plate, it turns into a new type.
Huh. That's curious. Am I bleeding again? I'm bleeding again! How did that happen?
In character, if this happened, you sat on a jail, didn't you?
No! Wait! Is my foot really bleeding right now? I'm so lost!
Again, with the
Hold on a minute. I'm gonna see if I can fix this.
Let's give the DM a 5-minute break to work on that.
This is the second time this has happened. First time it's because of glass.
I'm bleeding.
What a surprise!
What a surprise! Ah. It's not an injury, it's surprise blood.
You guys should join Game 21 by
Mm-hmm. Which game?
Game 21. It's neat.
Does game 21 look?
Yes, I know. It's right after our Sunday game, but still, I'm playing in it. Gosh.
Alright.
I mean,
What? What thing?
9 p.m.
Looking at
Sunday. I know it's 8 p.m. for me.
What? No?
I mean, if you want to recommend me to the DM, I'll be happy to play. What system is it? Pathfinder? Yeah.
Does
think-
I apologize.
I don't know.
I was not bleeding.
Oh,
Oh, good.
false alarm.
Yeah, no, somehow I managed to drop a whole glob of brownie batter on my foot, and I did not notice till just now.
I mean, it's not as bad as the one TM I've seen who constantly drops her dice.
I mean, I think I'd rather drop dice than globs of brownie batter on my foot. I
problem
didn't even
is-
know how I did that.
The problem is she keeps stepping on them.
Could have eaten that.
I don't know how I got brownie batter on my foot. I mean, I guess that's better than bleeding, because if I was bleeding, then when I go to sleep, I sheets, and that's just inconvenient.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yep.
that was actually really funny. I'm not worried.
Yep.
I've had because my cat didn't pick up bleeding, like semi-profusely too. It was kind of funny, actually.
Huh.
Anyway,
Yeah. June, of course, will look to our... What was his name again, I believe?
Thomas.
Thomas. Just gonna look Thomas. One thing. We expect an equal share of the loot in this. We're gonna be risking our lives.
That's if we actually have to risk anything. For all we know, this could be a case of sabotage. Hopefully, that's the case. If
Hopefully.
there's anything other than that, but yeah, definitely no. I'm not a weirdo with that.
And
I'm not greedy.
Hanzo is actually gonna roll insight on him.
Sure.
Just to determine whether he's hiding something. And that's a 15.
You gather that from his previous comment about the downstairs, that was not the context you originally thought it was, but other than that, this...
She wasn't there for that.
Oh yeah, he wasn't there for that.
Hanzo's checking to see if he's hiding something that could be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing that could be a problem, but you definitely can tell that he's got a couple of... not just some bumbling fool.
I have a question.
But nothing that could be a...
Yeah.
Yeah?
How's his butt?
You can't quite see because he's got the cloak on, but it's a very nice green cloak.
Okay, well, just so you guys know, Nyx is behind him, trying to look at his butt. She's not subtle about it.
Well, June will pick up her Thunderstone off the table and make it disappear.
I will say, after a little while of Nyx looking at specifically his butt, he has a little bit of a feminine twist.
Hmm.
Like his hips sway, and I can tell that enough, but you can't quite see if the booty is nice.
Nyx is gonna lean in. She's behind him. She's made sure he knows she's behind him. She's just gonna lean in and whisper into his ear. I'll type it to you.
Huh?
Nyx is
type what
whispering
she
something,
says.
so typing it to you.
Oh, okay, you're typing it. Lovely, I love it.
Yep. June, of course, is just fiddling with the Thunderstone again, putting it into her sleeve, pulling it out.
Reese just kind of looks at Nyx and it's just kind of like, oh, what's she doing?
And then, of course, June, of course, will just slip the stone up her sleeve, finally, like, okay, I'm done fiddling with this. This poor girl needs a fidget spinner. Like, she is that twitchy with her hands.
I forgot to mention, Thomas is pretty
Hmm?
with the slightly but not quite fully pointed ear.
Oh, half elf.
Mhm.
Okay.
He gives a baby face, like a baby-faced seductive side eye. Imagine that how you will. And kind of just gives you a bit of a thumb.
Hmm.
Um, uh, it is a. Let me look up because me am forget it. Me am forget of the shoddy scaling. uh, this. It's about a 5-day journey.
Okay.
That's a lot of days.
Not really. When if most people look at that map, they'd be like, "Oh, look at that! It's about 2 weeks of traveling." Like, no, that place is much bigger than you think it is.
Yeah.
I mean, Reef's small. Like, Reef's world is pretty small.
This is true. Reeves' world is
Yeah.
extended.
Yeah. June will, during the 5 days, June will be sure every day to keep up physical training.
Uh-huh.
Exercises that require her to move her entire body weight.
Lots of jogging and tiptoe jogging.
Yep.
I mean, Reeves did have like a workout routine that.
But this is a different type of workout routine.
It
Yeah.
is, so he's confused.
She's also doing like push-ups, but like she's basically doing a vertical push-up.
Can Reeves kind of like look at June, like while she's working out, and kind of try to copy her?
Yeah, sure.
Because he doesn't have like experience working out on the surface, so
Gravity is weird to you, man.
yeah, gravity's
Yeah.
weird,
Of course, I'm
and the food is weird.
like
and the
the
people are
whole
weird.
the whole thing with what I'm doing. I'm literally following as much of actual ninja lore as possible. Most ninjas had to be around 120 pounds and be able to carry and lift their own body weight.
Ooh.
She
Nicole
has an
just to
additional
work out.
5. Yeah. And June has an additional 5 pounds thanks to Hanzo.
Yay. Yay, symbiote. I'm gonna watch them work out. Because, why not?
You're very much Felicity to Oliver and Air.
Hmm.
Well, he's doing that push-up with the flare thing, and she's, that's hot. Thomas kind of joins in a little bit with the jogging bits.
Yep.
For like the morning and night
Yeah.
workout routine bits. But for the most part, he's just watching the road, keeping it stable. Spivot totally joins in workout
Yep.
things.
In
100%.
mornings. On mornings, June would either spar with her or go through katas with her blade.
Yeah. Spivot dominates and push-up, chin-up related.
Yeah.
Not quite everything running related, because she doesn't quite see every race, but she can definitely hold her own much better. Like, you guys get winded, and she's just kind of, like, jogging in place, like, come on, guys!
Well, like
Yeah.
Reeves is about to collapse. He's determined.
June's probably okay, considering
Stupid.
pretty
puppy.
rigorous
Reeves does
training.
have very good legs. He's got to have
okay,
really good legs.
Yeah.
His arms
He does.
are a little lanky, but his legs,
Yeah.
No.
good legs.
Thighs.
In the case of
Could I
Thighs are thunder.
Could I look
His
for
thighs.
plants and stuff Danny?
Yeah, sure. Make a general perception check. There aren't many plants outside of regular brush.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually,
Yeah, that's-
Stupid gravity.
once they left the Sapphire Staff location, June would have let Hanzo shift into a more leather adventurer's garb.
Alright, more of a leather armor based.
Yeah.
I assume still Japanese style. Of
Relatively, yeah. But not armor, actually. Well, he's replicating armor, but he isn't actually armor.
Yeah.
Since but he basically provides armor because of the unarmored defense feature of his.
Yeah, he provides armor, but not in the same way as
what he's replicating, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is very useful.
Reed should probably find some armor.
might be a little useful.
What is Reeves actually?
Reeves is a trident water genome.
I mean, class.
Druid.
Okay. Out of character, I do have a flavor thing that works for a breastplate. Chitin.
Chitin?
Yeah. Chitin is an insect armor. Umber Hulk chitin is really good for armor. I had a druid who had a breastplate made from an Umber Hulk.
That's cool.
Well,
Whatever
we'll
that
see if you
is.
guys face any
Sounds
big enough
cool.
insects.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, worst comes to worst, we can always bring the materials back to, if I remember correctly, the blacksmith is Alexander?
Just Alex.
Alex, yeah. Well, bring those back to Alex, and he can experiment with making a chitin armor.
Yeah.
Sorry, such a noob, and I didn't know.
I will
Since
say,
he's very...
Reeves' scale kind of cut. You got like a big. Nah, more like Alex Steele because I was creative and made
That's
a bunch
fine.
of shopkeepes and people who are like Overwatch puns and YouTuber puns.
That's fine. I mean, in the case of Alex, June is, like, he's one of her best friends at this point.
Kinda, yeah.
Cool. That means I have to flirt with him.
I mean, she won't mind. He's her best friend
happy
because
elf.
he's a really, really good blacksmith, and she likes to bring him new things to challenge him.
Everyone gets flirted with. Who am I kidding?
Yeah. June will actually be, during part of the walk, be chatting up with, not Reeves, Thomas.
Thomas?
And just showing him Alex's work with the reservoir dagger. Nothing in it.
Yeah.
She's
actually,
not...
Thomas is kind of like, yeah, I know Alex.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's great. I've had him make a couple of things for. I'm
Yeah.
more bow-based.
I'm up
You
close,
make a couple
but darts are... I'm pretty good with darts, but I'm more up close and personal.
I'm more ranged at woods.
I'm pretty good hiding, though, and scouting, but I never really could get the handle on a bow.
Oh, it's not that hard. Takes out his bow and tugs at the string. Like, yeah, you're just gonna kind of.
You
Yeah.
glitched out and it sounded like like you said, take out his boob.
He's got a whole bird, and then jokes on you. It's a bird.
Yeah. But yeah, June will basically take off the half of the hilt so he can look inside the dagger.
Ah, you got one of those poisony ones, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are low. Yeah, he gets them done.
Yeah. This is a new little project I gave him. Turned out quite lovely.
That was a few years ago. It was a little clanky because it was definitely his first time. But hey, it still works fine for my buddies. So,
Yeah. I have a poison for it, but I have to be really careful with it.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with those.
Yeah, she'll just open the pouch at her side and let him see the metallic substance before closing it.
Now that's the curious concoction.
It's just straight mercury.
Is it now? That's rare to come by.
Yeah.
Kind of
Honestly,
gives
it
you a
was
bit of a
lucky.
curious look.
I got really lucky. Found a few bottles of the stuff. Roll a deception check.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a 15. Not bad for her, considering her 0 modifier in charisma.
I'm going to, since it's roll 20.
Mm.
Come here, Caleb. Ah! Yeah. Alright. Well, that was Keelan's die, right? Yeah, this is Keelan's. An old birthday gift. Alright. So, where's the bit where this relates to, you guys? Yeah, you guys travel towards the destination known as Wohelm Ruin. I just can't speak today. Normally I can pronounce my own cities. They're called Wohelm Ruins. And
Jude listens
they...
hard for the scream.
And not much is known. Apparently, a big old city was destroyed by a volcano because there's still a volcano, though it is dormant. Think Pompeii, but like more gray and
Okay.
bright. Lots of like black stone when you look over towards it. And it's a bit more south and a little bit more west, and definitely along the mountain range that you can see and know as Mojave Range.
Alright.
This is the mountain range that just kind of separates the massive grasslands from the Mojave Desert, unknowingly almost named Mojave Desert, like the actual.
Yeah.
I literally, I was like, let's put a desert, let's call it Mojave. And then my friend was like the Mojave Desert, and I was like, oh, that's a place. Like that. You travel along the road. There is another city that I have no idea if I named it or not. Pretty sure I did, but little pit stop there, a nice barmaid and a nice accommodation.
Right.
Thomas pays for them as well. As a when you get to the city, it is oh, I forgot. You do see the tornado making its way north. You see it destroy Boulder. Notice, I do want a perception.
Alright. Ooh, not one. She's a little too busy. Garut's busy with a piece of pie.
Or a severed finger.
Nice.
Wait.
There we go.
Nice.
High perception druids. They're amazing.
Yes.
Alrighty then. I will roll for pivot with no doubt.
What are we perception for?
I will let you guys know separately because this is the case of the whispers.
Hmm. Actually, I just realized something for you, GM. Sometime in the next week, why don't you drop into handouts info on the various
Magician's
companies,
Lens Oh, yeah.
as well as the Magician's Lens, but also like who does what for the various companies, just so we can refer to them.
Yep.
So if I remember correctly, the Ruby Federation are the cops.
Yep, Ruby Federation are the
I thought
cops.
so.
There is,
He's oblivious, by the way.
I forgot what the other word for that I had with Lotus was, but there's a military, basically, that is an independent military that are basically like Royal Guard material. Then there is Onyx Construction. They are a German-based company that deal with weapons making, armor making, and big construction of like churches, cathedrals, big buildings, and important. And then there's Emerald Corporations, which controls money flow, taxes, and large shipments of money to different places for nobles. And then the Sapphire Staff with all things education, housing, and health, mental and physical. And Topaz Agriculture deals with all things food, trading, import and export, mostly related, but they do also deal with like textiles, other goods. But their base thing is food, and the CEOs, heads of all these companies are all part of the Opal Council, including the general for the Lotus military, which I think I called the Lotus Militia. They are all part of the Opal Council, which is essentially all of Calvadia.
Right. That
So
makes
it's not
sense.
one singular person, it's a council of people.
Yeah, just put that info together
Um,
on a document when you have the time.
I have no idea what's happening.
It's a reaction to the text in Roll20. I've been watching this with interest because it's actually hilarious.
Okay then.
I just love Reeves' response of, I have my own. Why would I need any of that pets? That's stealing. Do you want that pets?
Okay. You guys see that? Oh boy, let me read this out loud. I like all of our new friends, but do you want their pants? I have my own. Why would I need their pants? That's stealing. You want their pants? No, you're a virgin, aren't you? Don't worry, I can do that.
I still love the I have my own. Why would I need any of the pets? That's stealing. Do you want the pets? I'm gonna have to use that on someone if they ask if I want to get in someone's pants. Oh, that's amazing. I'm gonna call this episode, Do You Want Their Pants?
No, call it I have my own pants.
I have my own pants.
Just
Do you
call
want
it
theirs?
the reaction. Just call it the reaction, and then they'll be like, the fuck is this? And then the context will they'll be like, that's hilarious.
Yes. What do you think of my reading of Reeves, though?
Not British.
Not British, but hey.
British. I haven't settled on anything. He's just kind of innocent.
Honestly, the most British I can do. The most British I can do is Dick Van Dyke and Mary Poppins.
Dang.
Okay. I dare say that I'm pretty well versed in the British accent. Very various. The Northern and Londonish English.
Right.
In times Australia.
So I'm guessing they spotted something. No idea what they're gonna do.
Yeah, they can do what they want with that information, but that is information that they get.
Nyx would, seeing the thing, she points in the direction of what she saw. Did anyone else see that
See what?
big silver?
Mia, I sent you a message on Discord telling you what you saw. Since you also see the DC.
Wait. Oh shit. Ah. Stop. Okay. Hey guys, there's a big silver thing.
What?
Yeah.
What? June's just now looking where they're pointing.
I think was a dragon.
I mean, what else is big silver can fly?
I don't know.
Near Ma.
I mean, I'm just hoping we're not having a situation of the town
My
drunk.
mom is dead.
Oh,
I hope we're not
You
having a
actually
situation.
don't know that, Reed. You're just an orphan. That doesn't mean your parents are dead.
Honestly,
That's to me.
June's just gonna look at them. Okay, if it was a dragon, great. If not, I hope it's not a situation of the town drunk running into the bar while I'm having breakfast, singing about how he thinks he saw a dragon.
I'm pretty sure it was something like a dragon.
Anyway, why don't we keep moving? If it was a silver, that's fine. When I've heard metallics aren't all that bad.
Alright.
I knew it. Nyx wants his pants.
He doesn't want the hoodie. He wants the pants.
Anyway, June's just gonna keep walking at this point.
After this conversation with Reeves, whenever it ends, Nyx is gonna slide over. I think his name was Thomas.
Yep.
June's just
slide
walking
over
with
to
him.
Thomas. I'll slide over to Thomas and kind of put an arm around.
As you walk away, oh god, get your own pants.
Fight me, Reeves!
A pet stealer.
Fight me, Reeves!
Reeves is such an adorable, naive bean.
That's the point.
But yeah, just gonna slide over to Thomas. Not grope him because we just met. But just put an arm around him and
That didn't seem
walk.
to stop you any other times.
I'm just gonna slide over to Thomas and whisper in his ear.
Oh boy. Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Oh boy,
It's
oh
this
boy.
guy, right?
Nope. From what I could tell.
Nyx is female, I think.
Okay.
I
I'm
think.
sorry.
Do not. Oh, I love that.
And be thrown around. So I'm just not quite certain yet.
You know, I'm just gonna read this off for Garut. Do not worry, wet one. Garut shall protect your pants. This episode should just be called Pants. Because that's the topic of the day, apparently.
Yep. Pants.
It's worth noting that Gart genuinely believes that Nyx is going to steal someone's pants.
I know, Garut is the Drax of this team.
Thank you, Guru.
This is so funny. June's just watching Nyx now. She's wrapped her arm around Thomas like this, like, And she's just she's taking notes on technique.
Yeah. What? Where are you? Hold on a minute. My cat made suspicious sounds, and I don't know where she is. Where are you?
Thomas, she'll take your pants.
Crinkling plastic.
No, more like a high-pitched ow sound. That was like a puking sound, so no.
Oh no! At
I'm
least you.
doing that breaking your neck head on swivel thing.
I mean, at least you didn't hear. "Bleh, bleh."
No,
at 3 in the
and
morning.
then I heard the thing that sounds like she just puked up pure liquid for a
That's so
second.
stupid.
I mean, at least you didn't hear this in the middle of the night.
This is true, because then I wouldn't be able to go back.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of my cat being a distraction, Thomas kind of looks at you and does like a come see, come saw. Let's say that in English, maybe not. Nod and says, "I have a favorite."
Oh, what do I have to do to find out?
To that, he doesn't quite look at you. He kind of and like this. How do I say it? Kind of a way of like, look. Ow, Twinkie, walk away. He's thinking for a moment. He kind of just says, "Let's say that you know who he is because he."
Mm.
Can you repeat that? Sorry, my brain.
He says, "Let's say you know who he is because he's a little famous." And if you want, you can make a general intelligence check to try to figure that out, or to like get a suspect look in your head.
Okay, let's roll intelligence.
On a nat 1, it is Garut.
Oh my god, I rolled good.
Well, that's a save.
Garut is just going, fingers.
The first name that pops into your head is an interesting, because he gives you this look of like, you, because we've got a mutual thing that you don't know what it is. And the first name that comes into your head, now Felix would be the son of the king of Calvida.
Oh.
Hmm.
What are the king and queen?
I forgot their names because I don't think I actually came up with them, or when
They don't. What are their races?
They are.
Hmm. Huh.
They are straight up royal murder.
Hmm.
And he has a twin sister named Felix. She's
not
equally as infamous as him. So it could be either one.
Hmm.
But any pronoun that he used, it's Felix.
I'm not big brain. Help.
Bien small brain. Just help.
Do you want me to explain again? Because I may have
Yeah.
So, Thomas said to you, you may know because, and the first name that kind of pops into your head is famous. Felix is really famous. And he gives you this look of like, yeah. And then you're like, but, and he's like, yeah. And it's a weird clicking communication eye contact thing where the son of the king and queen of Vadia, where you come from, who are merfolk, and is a merman, that somehow Thomas is infatuated, is somehow knows about all of that.
Like gas.
My brain. What? That's Nix's expression. It's wet.
To which Thomas giggle,
Huh?
pats your shoulder, and says, "Maybe I'll explain it in depth later. Like, way later. I kind of can't talk about it."
I'm
June's
very
just keeping an
confused.
eye out on the road.
I'm gonna slide over to June next. I'm sorry I'm making this a whole thing, but I wasn't here last session.
Please do. I love RP. I love watching it.
I'm gonna
This mistress
slide.
just said some crazy shit.
I'm very confused about Thomas. But before Nick slides away, she taps his butt and walks away.
Just tap it, or like full on try to get a feel.
Just a small tap.
Why do I feel like she says tap tap booty?
It kind of feels like a nice butt, but you'd need to be a little bit more thorough from it.
Dang. Well, I didn't want to like full on grope him because that felt.
That's a little forward.
That is. Nix has already been pretty forward, but she wouldn't overstep that much. She's charismatic, but not. She's stupid, but it's hard to say with this character.
She's stupid, but she's got common sense.
Yeah, that's why she has a wisdom of 14. But she's gonna slide over to June and Hanzo.
Yep. And finally, Nyx realizes, wait, Hanzo is June's pants.
Wait a minute, what?
He has the ability to disguise himself as clothing and the like.
I know what I'm gonna do then.
Wait. What about Hanzo? My brain is like small brain right now.
One of his racial abilities is to disguise himself as clothing. He physically feels like the fabrics and behaves like them while disguised. He can also change his color and visual texture.
Mhm.
Nope, he is literally clothing right now. Though
I'm
able
gonna do
to
that.
operate.
Hmm.
Alright.
I don't put my arm around June. I just kind of. How do I describe this? I come over to June and like kind of touch her side. It's hard to explain. But yeah, I slide up to June and kind of put an arm around her side and kind of stand next to her and walk that way instead of putting an arm on her shoulder.
June's like, hi, Nyx. Doesn't even look at her because Nyx doesn't realize it, but Hanzo has already had gotten a taste of her. So her touching him was like, oh, it's Nyx.
She just caresses June's side because she can't.
You notice
Yeah,
that June, who normally seems pretty in control of her emotions, begins to blush a bit.
Interesting.
This is new to her.
So how are you doing, kid?
I'm doing okay, though I wouldn't call myself a kid. I mean, I'm definitely no kid by most standards. Sure, I'm young, but that's honestly age. It's just a number.
Interesting.
Well, a number in some cases. There are certain things that should not be allowed. But, yeah.
Nyx gets a hungry look on her face.
June, of course, is still keeping an eye on the road. Then she looks at Nyx, begins to blush a little harder, and then goes back to looking at the road.
June, is she trying to steal your pants too?
She can't. Trust me, I've had people try.
You're good at this. You're safe.
Oh, trust me, the last person who tried got bit.
Confused look from Thomas.
Interesting. So you're a biter.
Confused for many reasons.
He doesn't, because he doesn't realize in context it was Hanzo who bit the person.
David perks up and is like, "Why would someone want to steal someone's pants? Yours aren't ruined."
Yeah.
I know, that's what I said.
No,
Do you
Nyx.
need pants? There are plenty of people who sell things, you know.
Yeah. Nyx would notice something though. She would feel June's hand slide over hers on her side and just kind of intertwine fingers like this is nice.
Oh.
Ooh,
She can tell very easily that June likes this contact.
interesting. And Nyx just whispers in her ear, and then we'll walk away. Let me just send you what I whispered.
I mean, are you eating cinnamon toast crunch?
No.
You are. Tell Anna I told her to go to bed.
She is going to bed.
Tell her it's because I told her to and she figured it out.
Anna, Liz says go to bed. Never mind. Yeah. I'm already going to sleep. Hey, I told you, she's already going to sleep.
Good.
You just get satisfied by, like, intruding in my sister's life any moment.
Usually involving me saying go to bed at interval of the day.
Yeah. As Nyx walks away, she would notice that June blushes very hard for a moment, and then slowly the blush fades as she goes back to the task at hand. As she quietly just mutters under her breath something that she doesn't. Nyx wouldn't understand the language.
Lol. Anyway, I got a Garut, and I don't know how to handle that.
Garut is big, tall lizard boy.
7'5".
Oh, damn.
Damn!
Breaks neck looking up.
Yeah, Nyx is 4'7". So. Oh, boy. Nyx gets pokes Garut.
Greetings.
If you're that tall, I shouldn't ask that question.
Do what?
She's just gonna gesture for him to be on her level so she can whisper something into.
Gert crouches down. Without whispering back, Gert responds, "You would not like it. Besides,
Oh,
you are not my type, as they say."
Interesting. Huh. Nyx tries to trying to understand what that means besides what it means.
Also, you cannot steal my pants, because I do not wear pants.
that's right. You're protected.
I don't plan on stealing. I don't plan on stealing anyone's pants. Mostly just getting.
That's not,
That's what a pants stealer would say.
that's not what the wet one said.
Nick smiles. That tries to not say the thing she was gonna say. And just is gonna walk next to Groot and make a general conversation about like his existence, his life, and what he does.
Garrett explains that years ago his tribe was massacred by an evil lizard king and is
Oh,
Oh.
I see. Tragic backstory.
and then she'd ask, "Oh, so is that why you're an adventurer?"
Yes and no. I escaped my imprisonment because I heard a voice calling me to a particular town.
Interesting.
I hope to one day kill the lizard king who destroyed my tribe.
Wait. Is this said loud enough so that like Reeves can hear? Here.
Probably.
Yeah.
And
Rick
he walks up to Gabriel.
Nicholas
I am
Cage.
so sorry for what happened.
Do not feel sorry. My people do not understand the concept.
It still makes me feel sad. The fact that you lost that many people. He just kind of like sniffles.
I get a very strong Alphonse vibe.
Yeah, I do too.
I actually didn't mean it.
I love it. I love it. It's so sweet. Can't wait for you guys to come across a stray cat or panda.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah.
Nix mumbles under her breath. Or Set would say something. It's unless he speaks Aquan, then he wouldn't understand it.
I've always wondered if Aquan can even be spoken out of water.
Can it?
Flubs and like woos.
That's fair. It probably is some like bloop, 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 bloop. Oh, how could you say that about my mother?
It's like a mix of like whalish woos and blub.
Yeah, I like it. That's funny.
Oh my gosh, where'd it go?
But Reeves would understand it. He speaks Aqua, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Reeves
exactly.
speaks Aquan. Aquan is extremely common for you, actually. Both of you.
Yeah.
Speak it like a first language.
Because it is my first language. Haha.
Aha!
Ah.
But yeah, she would just start reciting the tenets of redemption. Because she doesn't want to say it out loud because she knows she will offend someone. But she says it in Aquan because I think she feels like Reeves and her have an understanding about stuff.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't get offended. Yes,
Alright. When Nyx kind of drifts away, Spivot walks up to Garou and is just kind of like, I just forgot what she was gonna say. Thanks, brain. Ah.
Probably has a moment of.
I had it in my head for like 3 solid minutes, and then just as I was about to go like this, say it, it just went. Bye bye.
She probably was thinking about it and then smelled the pie.
No, it's.
I don't know.
I thought of it. I remembered it. Haha. She walks up to him and goes, so what is your
That snaps June out of what she was saying. Just looks back like, what? Just says, and she's looking at Groot with like, the. To be honest, she, like I said, she looks at Spivot like, oh crap, nope, I have to look after her now a little. She may be tough, but she's naive.
To answer your question, small one, first, I would not mate with someone other than my species. Second, fertility is the greatest trait above all others. Because a
That's
fertile
pretty
female.
statistical.
Say again. I didn't catch up.
She said, that seems pretty statistical.
My people say
That coming from Spivet is amazing. This is not a word you'd expect her to use.
for my people, fertility in the females is greatest because a more fertile female brings more children.
But how do you know if they're fertile? Do they just kind of like say it?
Usually pheromones.
What are
Smells.
Oh my god!
June's just like, yeah, I can't explain it very easily, but yeah, effectively they give off a certain smell.
So, like, if you walked up to someone and you sniffed them, you could tell if they're fertile?
Only if they were lizard folk.
Huh. What
Yeah.
does it smell like?
It is hard to explain for this reason.
Yeah. You know what? Oh. You know, June's like, you know what? Good way to explain pheromones. They're, well, no, actually not really a good way. But other creatures that do it, like, Garut, apparently his race do that, but, Spivot, you know how bees behave?
Nope.
Say you mess with a hive and they get angry.
Yeah.
They use a similar...
Learned that one the hard way.
They use a similar way of communicating. So, that kind of thing. Smells, movement, that's mostly how they communicate with each other.
Kind of like deaf people. Deaf people. They talk with movement because they can't hear.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Another indicator for the females is the color of their fins.
Oh, you mean this things? And she kind of flicks you. It tries to, but she's really short. 5'2".
Yes, but females have two. Males like myself have one.
That's cool. I want to meet more of your people someday without having to fight them.
Unfortunately, the next time you meet one, you may have to fight it.
I hope not, because you're really nice, and I didn't have to fight you.
Thank you for your kind words, small one.
She gives you a hearty nudge.
Barry
And,
gives
like,
the best
we all
approximation to a smile that he can.
So a big crocodile grin.
Pretty much.
And then she begins to cartwheel away because she's now bored and is doing cartwheels and flips like a gymnast as you all walk.
Yep. June, of course, just goes back to watching the road, quietly just chanting to herself. As she is trying to quiet down the now rush of energy in her head.
Ooh, why is that?
It's
Thomas
pretty
is now
obvious.
looking both enthralled and confused.
In fact, as God damn it, Garut. I feel like that conversation's going on in the back.
A brief tide of fear.
Yeah. June will just watch the road, and instinctually she just goes through a set of hand signs over and over as she quietly chants.
No,
Garut, yes! Oh god. I have an army. We have a Garut.
Oh, who would say that though? Who would be the one that says it?
Mm.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably who?
Jack.
Yeah.
Somebody goes, we have
Yes.
back, but we have a Garut.
Yeah.
Pointing at his head like big brain head. And smarts.
But yeah, she was just quietly watching the road and going through the various hand signs over and over as she
So
chants.
Garut has finger food and he's not.
He has finger food and he is not sharing.
I don't think anybody wants.
No.
You too!
More like, who did you get that from?
Yeah.
Really?
No. Reese just kind of like pulls his hand back, curling his fingers.
What the heck?
Yeah.
Do not worry, wet one. You are Garut's companion. I will not eat your fingers. Unless you die. Then I will eat you.
Please don't eat my body.
I cannot promise that I
Uh,
I really want to drive, but I know I don't have the skill.
let's see here. Yeah. So yeah, basically, unless someone tries to listen, they won't really hear clearly what June is saying.
I listen to it.
I'm gonna roll stealth for her as she's doing this quietly. Would it be competing perception then?
Sure.
Just like you try to do something, I will listen in. Oh damn. Red.
She's a rogue.
Watch it be a nat 20 perception.
Come on.
Not likely.
Big wisdom, big wisdom, big wisdom.
Not likely.
I want to play
Come on.
too.
Yeah, no.
She just.
Hold on. Reeves is gonna join in. Oh, is she muttering?
Oh.
Close.
I feel like people are now just crowding in around her trying to find out.
Probably. Neither of these people are stealthy, so they're probably just like looking directly at her and attempting to listen.
Is it bad that I heard that they are looking directly at
I mean, that could happen.
Nick's
It could
probably?
definitely happen. Nix.
What? Who knows what will happen to Reeves on this adventure?
I'm sure
Please
Nick
make-
definitely plans on making him lose some.
Please leave the poor bean alone.
No.
He's a young bean. He's never been on this before.
He's
After.
probably older than Nick.
Let's see. After like a half hour, June eventually stops. She appears to have completely put herself in a neutral state of emotion.
And then I come back. I don't do anything, I just walk next to her.
Yep. Her pace seems to change from just a standard walk to a little bit more casual, as she's just enjoying Nyx's company at the moment.
Nyx gives her a smug side eye and plans things.
But yeah, about how far out are we from the town?
I'll say that this happened a day away.
Alright.
Some more very well prepared.
Hmm.
Anybody else have a conversation?
Oh.
Are there trees, by the way?
Some twiggy looking trees. Fun or fancy or free.
I really want to drag Thomas off into the trees, but
Yeah, there's nothing terribly thick anymore. There was for like a while.
Yeah.
Pretty.
Dang.
June will actually pick up one of the greener sprigs of just tree.
Yeah, I mean, there's a kind of a. I mean, everything's kind of dying.
Yeah, nothing
because winter
big.
is coming.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing big,
It's
but
getting significantly
something.
colder, but where you're going, it's significantly warmer.
Yeah. She'll just pick it up. It's just something small enough to fit in the palm of her hand, which she just curls her hand around and keeps walking. About a couple minutes later, she opens her hand up. It's gone.
All right.
Mm,
Yeah, but most of everything is kind of dead. They're too cold. A weird mix
Yeah.
of like.
Basically, I would like to make a survival for Hanzo as he is analyzing the plant
All right.
to see if he can taste if anything's off with it. Nope, it's a tree.
It is a stick.
Yeah, it's not even a cinnamon stick.
Wait, what is June trying to do?
She basically fed a small sprig from a tree to Hanzo so he could check and see if there was anything wrong with it.
Oh.
He does that by taste.
Ah. This
Kind of
is
like
a
how
stick.
babies just put things in their mouth to analyze it.
In his
Mhm.
case, he can do it more intelligently. But yeah.
And more intelligently sometimes.
Yeah. Second time I've done that, it still hasn't worked.
Mm-hmm. It'll work at some point.
At some point.
Can I try to see what's wrong with it?
I mean, if you want to take a sprig and chew on it.
Yeah, you make a nature check to try to check.
Yeah. Yeah, please do, druid stuff. Don't eat stuff. Don't eat stuff and don't let someone steal your pants.
Both of those things are gonna happen.
Oh. Oh no, he's actually tasting. You're doing the tasting roll.
Alrighty. You take a sprig and you're like, this can't be a bad idea. I choose C.
It's
And it's
good.
interesting because it tastes like one of those thicker pieces of aren't great because they're just awful and bitter. But this is just hard and not fun. And it doesn't really taste very.
Yeah.
This isn't even whelming. It's just under.
I have to question, is he going to be a trooper and stick with his decision to try and eat it?
Are you, Reeves? What do you doing?
Wait,
Are you the Lorax? Do you eat the trees?
not normally, no.
But
But
are
I've
you...
been trying new things recently.
The question is, will you decide to try and eat the leaf you tried to eat?
Wait, what's the question?
Basically, is he going to stick it out and try to eat the thing that he's chewing? Or is he going to be like, no, spit?
He's probably gonna like. He thinks it's a good idea, but then he's like, maybe I shouldn't do this. Kind of puts the stick down.
Yeah, you put the stick down.
Thank God most of the poison ivy's died off by this time of year.
This is a
Leave the
stick.
tree with the 3 leaves be.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Neither of you have poison.
Let me just
Experience how bad it can be.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, June directly picked from a tree, so.
Don't put random things in your mouth, Reeves. Unless it's me.
Random thing is a stick that June gave me. All right.
Okay, don't put things in your mouth unless you know it's food or unless it's me. Got it?
Don't put anything in your mouth unless they're me, okay? I love it.
All right.
Ah.
Whatever.
That's a
Whatever
good
that
laugh.
means.
It's like I will eat the stick.
Ow.
Don't eat this.
It's just what I'm just
Alright.
imagining this of oh god. Oh, in my head I'm just seeing the D&D comic of this.
Honestly.
But yeah. Do we need to make camp or are we getting close?
I'll say that you're close enough that you can push in like an hour to get into town and find.
May as well
Find
do
an
that and
inn.
find an inn.
Last one that you find is it's called Kirk's Cabin, and when you look at the sign, there is a streak of graffiti by D and cabin to make it a K.
Huh.
Neat.
And upon walking in, it's not like a tavern inn; it's just a straight up inn with a nice little lobby space. A couple of doors that lead off to the back, and a couple at a desk just kind of having a conversation who see you both stand up and go, "Oh, hello." Half-elf couple.
June just gives them a little wave. Hi there.
Ah, hello, newcomer.
Yep.
Do you want rooms? We have unavailable.
Alright.
They are 5 silver piece, 2 per day, or 1 per week. How long you want to stay, though? No one stays long, so
Let's go with for a day for now and then just looks at the group. Why don't we try and figure things out before we decide how long we're staying?
yeah, that's fair. All right then.
June will
Do you
go
want to
ahead and
bunker up or a room per each?
let's
Oh,
kind of bunker up.
June, do you want to share a room?
Um uh, sure.
Cute.
Evil smile.
Look out for your pants.
So how much was for prices again?
5 silver a piece, 2 silver per day.
Per day?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I pay for the room that
okay.
me and June are going to share.
Well, June will go ahead and drop down some silver for the other people then.
Alright, who else wants to bunker up?
Let's see here. She figures Spivot will bunk with Garut.
Yeah, Spivot does walk up to her and goes, "You want to share?"
And
Not mine.
I will say this, just to make sure we had Jack with us, we probably tied him to Garut's back like a backpack.
I'll say that he just kind of quietly sauntered
That's fair.
in at the back, and then he told,
He's just sleepy.
"Yeah, he
Yeah.
he kind of looks like he's sleeping."
Yeah,
Anybody?
yeah, June's just like, hey Garut, could you take Jack with you too?
Sure.
I want him to be under watch, just in case.
We'll keep him good and safe, and his pants too.
Okay. As June is probably going to get dragged off by Nyx then, once they have a key.
Hey. So am I by myself?
You have Thomas.
You can bunk with me, but
That's right.
I mean,
All
you
right.
could always join me and June, of course.
no, thanks.
We're good.
Kind of like Garut said, you're not quite my type, but you're both lovely ladies.
I'm gonna whisper something to Reeves.
Garut wants to protect him from pants theft.
Wait, what did he say? I didn't hear him.
I'm gonna whisper something real quick.
Oh.
Oh, be gentle with Reeves. He's soft.
To which Thomas says, I once was too. Trust me, I know from experience.
Finger guns.
Finger guns in response. Lorna kind of face palms and gives Will keys. Thomas pays for his and Reeves' room.
All right. And then June
So
will
that
cover
is
the
a total of 3
her.
rooms.
Well, cover Garou, Jack, and Spivet then. Since Garou likes to sleep on the floor, Jack can be put to bed.
Yep. And her husband, who introduces them, give you guys proper keys, which have numbers on. Numbers. Points you all to the stair. And says,
I'm gonna pick
"Please
up.
do enjoy your stay." With like a kind of a sad smile.
All right.
Seeing this, Nyx would say, June, go wait for me in the room, will you? I'm just
Sure.
gonna talk to the innkeepers.
All right. We will
Yeah.
talk to them about.
Nyx will just kind of ask things about the town. But how are they as people? Like, are we in the town with the blight?
Yes.
I'm gonna ask them about how like the blight has affected them, their business, and just the lives of the people in the town. Things like that.
All right. They kind of explain to you that the blight occurred a little over, and it's been affecting that. Sometimes there's almost either of how to fix the problem, except that you can have like a bite of the fruit and live, but you'll be sick like a week.
Mm.
But if you eat like a full piece of fruit that's been blighted, you're gonna die within a week.
Oh.
12 people have died. Is a huge community of some type of farmer or someone who deals with food or minor trades. Nobody knows how it got into. If nobody knows of any suspicious of any kind of sabotage or anything, but that this is forced to go up because even though food is still in great demand, especially now with the blight having taken out these crops, that now food is demand and it's harder to get without it being blighted. So prices have been racked up. A lot of people can't quite buy as much food as they could, and this is affecting everybody. And they had lost their wait. Oh no, never mind. My bad. They don't tell you that. They don't tell you anything. My bad. But they do tell you that who the kind of resident of the family is, not of the whole city, and that is the Tupley. While there isn't so much of an established hall, there is kind of a self-appointed everybody family family who kind of town, and that is the Tuple family. Tuple and Rena.
Okay.
They deal mostly with half and half of some of the more delicate crops and livestock.
Okay. I think I'd also ask. Not when the blight started, but the first area that the blight started showing up in, if it like showed up on farmland.
You notice that they get a little bit, like, confused in a sense that, like, they know what you're asking, and they answer you. They just don't, or how, but it started sporadically. Like, it started in this part of town, and this part, and this part, all at the same.
Hmm.
So, if somebody were to sabotage this, they either A, alone, B, were extremely efficient at making it hard to find them, pinpoint them.
I would tell them that our group is here to see if they can administer any aid in stopping the blight, and that if we're successful, hopefully, we'll be able to help this town.
All right. They give you a very happy sigh and a sigh of relief and thank you in advance.
And after that, yeah, Nyx would go up to the room she's sharing with June.
Yep. Let's see here. While Nyx was down there, I'm gonna have Hanzo roll his usual investigation on a room.
All right.
That's a 9. It's
Right.
probably fine.
Yes. Find him. I will say, Reed, Thomas, don't worry. I have no intentions in stealing.
Yeah. Nyx would walk in to see June and Hanzo. Basically, Hanzo reforming back into clothing after covering her.
Did I walk in on something intimate?
No, Hanzo was just doing a security check.
Nyx. It's not. It's not a stealthy movement because she is not stealthy, but it's very very slow and direct. It's like she's walking towards a scare. It's hard to explain, but just being very direct with her movements, so as not to give off the wrong signal, I guess. Nyx cups June's cheek in her hand.
Well then. And probably seen as basically June and Hanzo do their thing. Hanzo going to sleep because this is something he isn't interested in.
Aw, dang.
He's an ooze and he has no concept of reproduction.
I mean, he's a bad citizen. But that's not actually what's happening. As I should mention, it might be she might still signal Hanzo to sleep, but Nyx kind of just cups June's cheek and caresses her face.
And that blush is back. Her ability to control her emotions just... She's losing control of her emotions again.
Nick, stop taking advantage of people's emotions.
It's just to steal their pants.
Unfortunately, June's pants bite.
Mm-hmm.
Not now, Hanzo sleeping.
You know, that was supposed to be a joke.
Yeah. Now it's become a running gag.
It was gonna be a one-time thing. You know.
Yeah. As for where Hanzo is sleeping, he's not like a puddle on a piece of furniture. June brought along a chunk of his meteorite that he slides into.
Yep.
Yeah, Nyx just caresses June's cheek, plants a simple kiss on near her lips, but not exactly on her lips. We have work to do.
Yeah. Still, June's just gonna walk over to the bed and Sit down. It's nice to be out of my hometown.
Hmm.
I mean, when it comes to everything, Dad can be a little overprotective at times, but I think he's happy I have Spivot around and other people to go with when I want to leave town now.
Parents are overprotective because they face the world.
Yeah.
Bringing a child up in a world like this is never easy.
Well, he's the only parent I've ever known.
It's good to have parents. Not everyone has that.
Yeah. Still, she moves the blankets and lays down. She's gonna look at Nyx if she wants to join her. Not like she wants that, but she just kind of wants to cuddle up. She's being a little forward there.
It's nighttime, isn't it? We're not going directly outside
Nope.
and searching. Oh yeah, it's nighttime.
That's why Hanzo went to sleep. Because he checked to make sure that the room is safe, and then he went to sleep.
Nyx blinks and looks at her armor.
I can assure you Hanzo won't eat your armor.
No, it just takes some time to get off.
Oh then.
Like 10 minutes.
June will slide out of the bed, and she'll start going over the armor. Since she's been around Alex, she knows how full plate works.
Yeah, to an extent.
So she's able to help get it off.
It's a little bit weirder than Alec.
Yeah.
You managed to help and like.
Triton armor is weird because
Fish.
it's weird. It's a weird amalgamation of. It's weird. So
Yeah.
it has the same stats. It's just odd looking and has a weird strappy thing.
Yeah. So she has to feel around and look around a bit before she starts finding necessary points.
Mm-hmm. Nyx most likely has not been out of her armor for a while. Like since they started out on this mission. So yeah, I don't think it's very likely that June has not seen Nyx without her armor.
Yep.
The armor definitely bulks her up, but she's fit. It's that weird. She thick.
Mm.
She thick and she fit.
Yep.
Yeah.
With big boobs, of course. Sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
You like that?
She can tell June is very, very blush. And nosebleed. Not spraying, just a little trickle.
You haven't had much experience, have you? Wipes her nose.
No.
I'll teach you a few things tonight. That's where we should cut that.
Yeah.
Anybody want to have any NPC? You guys just
I mean, what is Pivot doing?
push-ups probably until she gets tired. Actually,
She's probably having a push-up competition with Garut until they get tired.
you know, probably, or like a planking contest.
Yes.
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
She's making sure to trade Jack at the same time.
Jack is asleep. He's like, nah, you know what? I'm not. Bye.
If June were there, she'd be mischievous and wrap him up like in his blanket. She'd cocoon him. But
Yeah,
no,
no.
she's having fun.
Spivot will have a planking competition with until they fall asleep.
Yeah.
Alright. Reeves, you want to talk to Tom? Are you feeling fun? Anti-social.
I honestly don't know. I've been just listening in so far. And I don't know much about Thomas either.
And Thomas does want to ask you something. So you're from Vadia, right?
So I'm from where? Sorry.
Vadia.
That's the name of the city that I came from, right?
Yep.
I keep forgetting. Alright, then yes.
How's Felix doing? You should know, right? I don't know a while since I've been there.
Wait, was it like the guy that we saw before we left?
Felix, you didn't quite see him. You saw him quickly in passing, and he didn't really make eye contact or movement or like in any way communication towards you. But you do know who he is by looking at him. He
Yeah.
is the king and queen's son, Felix. Very, very overly handsome. Think
Yeah, he's
think Tamaki, but a merman, and hair is longer.
We should bring Thomas home with
Yeah.
us.
Hmm.
we should bring this Thomas home.
I mean, we do have that way to get home, and the thing where we can bring our friends back.
Yeah, but that's only like once, right?
You don't know.
I don't know. Alright,
I
whatever.
don't know either. That's why I'm like, we should bring Thomas with us.
No, that's not a good idea. We don't know if like it'll work or not.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's fair, but Thomas is cute. I like him.
I feel like those two are just talking. Thomas and Reeves are just talking, and like they're playing some kind of game.
Reeves, I'm sorry, not Reeves. Thomas, and how Felix and because it's been a while since he's been there. He wants to make sure that they're okay.
Yeah, they're okay. I saw him recently.
Hi. Good. You know him?
Not personally, no.
That's a shame. He's real nice, real fun.
I'll make sure to say hi to him.
Mm-hmm.
From Thomas, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty.
Mm-hmm.
He'll know it's me if you call me by Blubberfish.
Alright. I'm not even gonna question it.
He likes to give his best friends nicknames, and he likes to give his significant others even embarrassing nicknames. And you can pick and choose which one you think I got.
Alright. I'm sorry, sis. Why she
It's
doing
fine. I'm
something?
trying to ease you into the
Yep.
slowly but surely. You'll get used to it.
Alright.
Let's see. But yeah, I'm guessing sleep till morning.
Yep.
Basically.
Yep. Of course.
So Nyx knows about the Tuple family. I assume that in the morning to you guys.
I informed the people.
Yep.
There's no like direct path to go get breakfast, but
We have the pie.
I mean, true. But if you want something a bit more breakfasty, then a
I mean, a quiche is a pie.
whatever the pie might can never quite tell immediately.
Well,
I would
t-shirt
say
over the
because
top.
I would inform them about the blight and how food is pretty expensive. I would suggest our rations and the pie.
Regardless of that, when you all go, Lorna and Ray do suggest you over to Kettle Pot, which is next door. It's a nice little tavern that they're in to serve their guests and people enjoy.
Clearly your DM is kind of like
It's kind of like sick and recovering from sickness.
Don't mind.
Mm.
Cough, cough. Please go there. Cough, cough.
I mean, hey, we could always go check it out.
I mean, who doesn't love a good D&D?
Hmm.
Shockingly enough, you guys didn't actually get there for the first time. Kudos to you all for that.
Oh. Oh, wait. Wait. Did we ever pass through here or no?
No.
Alright.
Yeah.
The first time you've been on the western side. Oh, yes. Western side of Calvida. First time
Let's see.
First time you even heard of West.
What's
Yeah.
west?
A direction?
I thought there was only left, right, up, and down.
No.
Everybody's like, yeah, it's basically the same thing. It's just fancy names for up, down, left, and right.
I pat Reeves's face. Pat.
probably with one arm, because when you would come downstairs, June is kind of got her arms wrapped around Nyx's arm, mostly because she's happy, not because she wants to be possessive, which she would have made clear. She's like, nope, I'm just hugging you because I'm happy.
We're passing hugs around now?
Oh god.
Also,
They would have joined in
her.
on that shit immediately.
Let's see. Also, Hanzo would have shifted June's gear appearance slightly, still keeping the leather armor look, but changing the clothing under it,
Alright.
just to make sure it doesn't look like she's wearing the same thing constantly.
Yeah, and the emotion of a group hug, Spivot would have been like, hell yeah! Please.
Oh no.
Next is just like, oh no, I was just having a nice moment. Reese, why, you dumb fuck.
I mean, Reeves is always welcome to join in. Glasses
Wink,
a
wonk.
joke.
Wink, wonk, wink, wonk.
Yeah.
Wink wonk, shoulder wink.
Wonk. Wait,
Yeah.
anybody else coming in here? Where's Garut?
He's doing the awkward dance right on out of there.
Garrett only accepts hugs from Spivot.
I mean, that's fair. She is someone who's fought him on really good terms. So she's earned that right.
Spivot's adorable. That's what earned her that. She's adorable, and that's what earned her that.
Yeah, it's both adorability and strength. Yeah.
I'm gonna
That's
carry
not
Reeves.
fair. You don't want hugs from me?
Oh,
Move yourself and then you might get one.
You know what? June takes one arm off of Nyx's arm and just pats him on the head. It's okay.
He just kind of has like this dejected look. Like,
Then ruffles the hair.
I pick up
Sorry.
Reeves like a sack of potatoes.
I may
Wait,
break
What?
what'd you say? You cut out. Yeah.
I said, besides, I may break you.
That's fair. Also, wait, what did Nyx do?
I'm picking up Reeves like a sack of potatoes.
Just over the opposite shoulder.
Mm-hmm. If I carry him, he won't get hurt.
That's fair. Well then, should we go look
your
into
birthday.
breakfast?
sure. And then Spivot picks up June in a similar fashion to what Nyx is doing to Reed.
As she's suddenly pulled away from Nyx's arm like that.
Not so much pulled as much as lifted.
As she's like, okay. As in the back of her mind, she's like, thank God I'm not wearing a skirt right now.
And Rob for breakfast.
He won't accept the hugs.
Don't worry, I'll hug you a lot. I'll hug you. Give you all a hug. And something else.
But everybody should get.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, you want to hug somebody? I got you. I got you.
Yes.
And then, despite you being picked up, Thomas is kind of tall, so he'll just kind of hug while you're picked up
Just
and held over
just
Nix's shoulder.
Just hug from the back, getting at his head that's over Nix's shoulder.
Thomas is like 6 foot. He's not short. He's kind of just tall and lanky.
I could probably carry Thomas, let's be real. I could carry both of them, most likely.
It'd be a little awkward because he's long and you're short.
Yeah, but still.
It'd be
It'd
like
be awkward, but you could do it.
it's like carrying a ladder that flops over at both ends on your shoulder.
I mean, Reeves is around like 5'2", kinda.
Yeah, I feel like. Anyway, breakfast.
Yep.
Breakfast, yay!
Right. Then. So you head on over to Kettle, run by the kettle. I was busy writing this. Bell rang. Cost me. I have nothing to write for them. But you do meet some there. You ask around about the couple. Hey, they're right over there. Father, daughter at a table. Conversation.
Neat. I go over to them.
With Reeves in tow or not?
I mean,
Released him.
I have released him.
I am okay, it's okay.
Yep. June would have been like, okay, Spivet, you can put me down.
Yeah, she would have put you down at the same time.
Alright. June, of course, will go catch up to Nix and just stick with her.
Mm-hmm.
You walk up to them and big, burly, tall human man, but with the gentlest looking face, looks at you gentle. Oh, what's up? You two are new. Especially you there, Blue.
How old does this human guy look?
Kind of old. Not terribly, like 40s. He's well aged. Muscly, burly, but nice looking.
Nyx flashes a smile and blushes in a very schoolgirl-like manner and shrugs. Fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
He puts his hand out, puts his gigantic split worker hand out. I'm Samson. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
I shake his hand.
My daughter, Katharina. Hold on, introduce yourself, girl. And she just looks at you guys. Not so much being informal as much as just in a way, it just kind of goes,
Hi there.
has gently put her hand, gestures for.
I do the shake.
Call me Rena.
It's nice to meet you both. I see. Are they eating?
Kind of. They have a small plate of like eating.
We are me and my group here. I gesture to June and the others who are probably doing something. We've come to see if we can be of aid to your, well, let's just put it plainly, city, and help solve the current problems. We should most likely have this conversation after everyone's had a meal, because it may turn serious, and I suppose it's better if we handle this in a private setting.
Always better to handle I like you. Yeah, sure. Everybody here knows our directions. You guys enjoy your finishing up. Go on home and wait for you. We got some things to finish up at.
All right,
He
see you.
gestures for Rena to get up, and they kind of casually giving a wave to your friendly one.
Hmm.
I don't think male humans could be that hot.
But it's a nice temperature in here.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
How many times have you said that today? I swear to God.
As many times as you've worried about pants being stolen.
Yeah.
Called out.
Sure.
Alright, you guys have a meal. It's only about 5 silver for you guys. Still small.
Right.
You,
Did you repeat that? You cut out a lot.
I said, but you have your pie. It's about 5 silver if you guys.
Alright.
I want to say Gart doesn't want to eat any of the food from this town, and instead just keeps snacking on fingers.
Don't do that.
Don't do that in public, group.
Yeah,
Have some
some
pie.
person gives you your
You cannot control me. I hunger.
Okay.
people give you a weird look, and then they look fearful, and then they're like, okay, then.
June, of course, will.
I'll just stare back at it as I eat the fingers.
June will let Hanzo actually sample the food before she starts eating it.
It doesn't seem quite as ripe. Like, not a lot of it seems quite as ripe or as good as it probably could be, but given the situation, that's probably because they're trying to max what they can from what they can tell is not.
Hmm.
But none of the food on your table is.
You know, I'm gonna have. What would I roll for June to determine how much a pie would be worth here?
I don't know.
He just really wants his pie.
Oh no,
I
I'm
mean-
thinking here.
If you're gonna,
You're thinking of selling pie.
I'm thinking of selling pies,
Yeah.
but also this will give us something to possibly draw out whoever's doing this.
Mhm.
Because if they're trying to starve this town,
Could we not sell the pies and just give them away for free?
well, I'm not going to sell them for a lot. I'm actually going to sell them for way less.
I just
I want us to still be able to make a little bit of money off this, but I'm not going to overcharge people.
Nix looks uncomfortable with the idea of selling
No
to
worries.
starving people.
No worries. If they can't afford it, we'll give it away.
I'd say just like a general intelligence.
All right.
Try to see what you could barter some pie for.
God damn it.
I would
Does anyone
help
want to help? Okay.
because I am
There we
an
go. Nat
artisan.
20.
I would help because I'm an artisan, know-how, and a cook, so I would know how much this stuff sells for.
For good quality pie like this, definitely probably like a gold.
Okay.
Considering the price, both inflation and like the price inflation of just because food is less, but because you have an infinite amount, you could probably get away with selling it for a silver a piece and then banking and making up for not selling it for a gold a piece.
That's kind of my thought. June's going to look to Nyx. Nyx, we're going to supply you with some of these. If anyone can't afford it, I want you to give them away, okay?
Okay.
We're only going to be selling people who can afford it. To those who can't, you can give them away. But I want
Okay.
us to try and draw attention from whoever's poisoning the food.
We should most likely talk to the. Are their names Tumble Stump?
Yeah. We'll talk to them.
Tupples.
As June's going to stand up after making sure Bill's been paid.
Can you tell me their names again so I can write it down? Because I want to bone the daddy.
Oh my god.
I'm not apologizing.
I mean, I got a question. How old is Nyx?
Oh, she's in character. She's 19.
Okay.
She's not that old. So yeah. But what are the names again? So I can write it down.
Samson and Katharina or Rena Tupple. Tupple. I came up with like really cutesy farmer names for most of the.
I'm bad at spelling, but I know what it says. Yeah. Don't mind me.
Yeah.
All right. So, what is the? Are you guys gonna go to the?
Yeah.
Tupple?
We should talk to them. Partially because June's going to want their help with her plan.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
June is not going to be the person up front selling these. That's going to be Reeves. June is going to be watching from the background in the dark.
How good is Reeves?
He's got a. The whole point is that he's got a pretty face,
He does have a pretty face, but
and that will hopefully make people trust him.
he's a bit scatterbrained.
What do you mean? I'll have you know, I have an intelligence of 11 and charisma of 13.
Okay, he should be fine then.
Yeah. He's just got to keep to selling them at a single silver. Garut can go in and out of the kitchen, quote-unquote kitchen, bringing out pies.
Yep. But yes, we
Alright.
should.
And Spivak can guard the pie.
I like how I gave like these people southern that I just didn't do a southern.
It's okay, trust me. I have for one of my characters, I did a Bayou boy accent for a lizard folk ranger.
No,
I
that
love
makes
it.
sense. That actually makes sense. But like I
He
remember
was so good.
southern and nice, southern and shy,
But yeah,
and I didn't do a southern voice.
yeah, June's gonna go ahead
I
and
tried too. I just like can't do it.
yeah, let's meet up with them and explain the plan.
All right. I will say though, on your way there, you know, a shop called Needles Meadery.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, as a place of interest, if you ever feel like going.
What is it called again?
It smells like Needles Meadery, and it's
Oh,
from the inside.
it's a meat house.
Meadery.
Oh, booze.
Meat.
Okay, thank God.
Mm-hmm.
For a second, I was like, wait, meat? Where are they getting the meat?
This is also a livestock town. It's all kinds of farm.
Yeah, but I'm worried considering the blight.
But
But yeah.
they're selling humans, guys. Eating human
It's going
bodies.
Sweeney Todd.
Woo!
But yeah, June will just
Mrs. Roberts meat pies, the best pies.
but yeah, we'll just set up. We'll go meet.
We should meet them
Alright.
and then
Yeah.
tell them our plan and then see what they think because this is their town and we don't want to step on toes.
Yes. And I mean, at the price, we're going to get attention with the price that we want to sell at.
Alrighty then. So you go on by. Samsung comes on in. Got an apron. And it's got like purple and orange and yellowy and red. Some of them look fresh. And he just kind of takes off some gloves on his hands and says, "Ah, you're here. Nice.
Perfect.
Come on in. I was just making jam."
Sounds lovely.
That's what that stuff was.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. That can be confusing for new.
How do you make jam?
Oh, well, you see, you mash up some of the fruit that you want to use, and for jam specifically, a lot of people don't like this. So you gotta strain it, and it's a long process because it's like jelly and thick. so you gotta really wait for it into the thing without the seeds.
If we're here long enough, do
Then
you
you
think
put
we
it
could
into like a cold space, and they've been here for so long. We've had a couple of magic full kill. You put it into this place that's like that's cold like all the time with the winter, and gels up and becomes all nice, and then mix it up,
Ew.
put it up on like toast and bread and stuff, and it tastes really nice.
Oh, sorry, I'm a cook. Do you think
Nice.
do you think you could teach me if we're here long enough?
Sure, totally. I love teaching people things.
Nyx flushes like a schoolgirl again.
And plus, in a bit, it does like that like whisper thing to you. It goes, Rena doesn't really like doing the whole cooking thing. I think she's more cowgirl, as they say.
Well, okay. So, June kind of claps her hands together, makes sure the door's closed. Not to unnerve you, but I have to do something to make sure this place is secure.
All right.
She's going to go around, and Hanzo's going to extend a pseudopod and begin investigating cracks and everything.
All right.
That's an 11.
I mean, you know, it's an older house, got some nooks and crannies, but nothing that seems to be of suspicion.
Okay. I think we're good.
Juno. Pseudopod. Boop the pseudopod.
June just kind of chuckles. Okay. So the going theory right now is that someone is poisoning your crops. I have an idea. It hinges on an item we have. Basically, she explains the whole plan to sell these pies at such a low price that people can buy them and afford them, but at the same time, hopefully drawing the attention of whoever's screwing with the food.
I mean, the prices have really only gone up. So, you know, our supply for topaz, then, you know, prices have to go up. That way we can maintain demand from the supply to an extent. It's kind of dumb, but with the whole like, I mean, that's a great idea with your thing, and somehow you have infinite pie. That's pretty great. But I don't see how that's really going to draw anybody out, because you're just outsider. You're forever supplying us pie. You're solution to that. So I'm just kind of thinking that.
We might have to do a little investigating first, but
I would suggest, could you show us where the blight's been the worst? Reeves here is a druid, and it would be good for him to see it. I think he could figure it out.
All right then. Yeah, sure. I mean, kind of hitting. Who's it hitting worse there, Rita? He kind of calls out towards whatever room is beyond a doorway. You can't quite tell from the angle you're at, and you hear a dejected sigh. I believe it's the one of those trees farmers, the people that have like the apples and peaches and oranges and stuff.
Oh, orchard.
Yeah, one of those places. Not sure which one it is. One of those. Well, you heard the girl. So the people with the oranges or peaches seem to have the worst blight. Since obviously it's like one plant that produces a whole bunch. If one tree is blighted, then like most of the fruit, and losing much more fruit than if it pumpkin or, you know, a tomatoes or something like that. Green is like a tree.
Hmm.
Hmm. I guess we should head up then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll lead you to that area. We kind of have everything to section. We got the greenhouse people with tropical fruits. We got the in-ground people plants with like their onions, carrots, potatoes, those nice hardy plants. And people with the orchards and the vineyards, they need them. So we keep them farther away from the mountain soils.
Oh.
And he's just kind of pointing and teaching you about in some of the bigger buildings. You walk through a marketplace, you walk past the meadery again, and he
Before we leave, actually, is he coming with us to investigate, or is he just...
he's going with you to the orchard because
Okay.
he's taking you there.
Okay.
Okay, then I don't need to do the thing I was gonna do.
Right.
All right. But yeah, he's kind of essentially acting a very nice, ooey gooey jelly donut dad tourist,
Huh.
despite his big burly demeanor. Like he almost looks like a human girl, but like a foot taller. Shorter, not taller.
Hmm.
I will say this. If anyone is paying attention to Nyx, I hope they aren't. She is enthralled by this man. Like, oof.
He still has his apron on too.
Oh,
It's
it's
just,
great.
yeah, just like, oh damn.
Yeah, and he's got like yeah. Yeah, you know, he's tall and he's got this like short beard that's kind of silky smooth. It's not like one of those cool. It's well kept and uh, darker tan skin with this dirty blonde hair. He's yeah. He's got the nicest. He's got the nice.
Hmm.
I feel so bad. In and out of character, I feel bad because like June's stuff, but also this guy. Oof.
I mean, June's looking
This
at her.
guy.
She's like,
Ooh la
okay,
la.
this is. June's just looking at Nick's like, okay, this is pretty normal. As long as she doesn't do that with my dad, we're good.
Yeah, for June, this man is like a farmer version of your dad.
Yeah.
Oh no. But yeah, I don't know. How do you flirt with someone like that? But yeah, Nyx would occasionally chime in and just kind of flirt, but not. You know when you're the half flirt that people do when they're not sure how to approach a situation?
It's like you can tell they're trying, and maybe they're not executing it as well, but they're at least trying, and it's wholesome.
Yeah, she's
Hmm.
trying. She's not good at talking. She's never met an attractive human man that she's been sexually interested in.
Let alone one that has a kid.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Yep.
He just kind of gives you a. Like, you get all flustered when you're like, damn it, that core. Well, that was dumb. I'm so stupid. He just kind of gives you this, like, this warm, forgiving smile.
Does Reeves do anything dumb? I need to anything air quotes around that on this adventure.
I have a feeling he's
Okay.
I have a feeling he's watching his pants.
I feel like he's watching
That's a
Samson's
sometimes thing.
pants because he can see Nick's watching Sam.
No, The whole kids thing. No, come on, guys, let it go.
Never.
Never, Mia. I will bring this up during Overwatch.
That's never.
Face it, you have a quotable gag now.
And I will at you on it all the time.
Bye. That's good. Okay. But no, he is not watching his pants. He's watching Nyx intensely. He knows something's up. She's getting all flustered. He never seen her like that before.
It's a thing. It's not.
Yeah. But yeah, just following him along to the orchard. Garut probably plodding along. Big ol'
Yep.
lizard.
Best
Yeah.
lizard boy.
Spivot's having fun. She's looking around. The place is cool.
Yep.
It's very clear she's never. And there's like all kinds of like weird food stuffs everywhere. Look weird. They look really cool. A lot of it looks familiar, but a lot of it's like weird and it's cool. You do see you don't so much see anything in the way of like churches like you saw in Empire with for Kitar and Otix, but you do see a couple of like small areas decorated flowers and I thought to Nivanka, the goddess of
Right. Alright.
she is typically depicted either as a doe or as a child, an innocent child.
Makes sense. Yeah. I will say this. Whenever they get to the orchard, June is actually Hanzo will slide the magician's lens into June's hand. Because there's something magical going on with this, it'll know.
Alright.
I can use detect magic.
Yes, Garut glows.
So I'm gonna use one of my 2 uses of detect magic.
Alright, you don't really see any magic.
No.
Everything seems pretty straight.
Yep, June's just gonna hold off until we start investigating it clearly.
That's not what I wanted to click. Oh no.
Divine Sense, I'm guessing?
Whenever we get close to the blight.
Yeah,
I'm
once
close
we
with the blight, so
once we get shown where the blight is, that's when June's going to use the lens.
Alright. So yep, you get to one of the orchard pass. You guys don't know, but Reeves and Nyx recognize when they see this tree that's been blighted, and this looks familiar. This looks like one of the dead plants that you saw around the portal tree.
Uh-oh.
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 Well,
Good.
once June can see it, she's gonna hold the lens up and look at it.
It does emit magic, but it doesn't emit magic from the tree. It emits magic from areas where you can see the tree has these like you have you seen the coronavirus that not green?
Ah.
It's like, Reeves, do you remember the woods?
Yeah, I do. That's
Do you think
that's
it's-
my good.
Do you think that Spider Lady got here too?
But we killed her, didn't we? No.
I don't know how Faye works.
True.
What
I mean,
what color am I getting off this stuff?
You're getting just blue general magic. You can't quite tell because divine and or healing, and then general magic advanced
Cursed?
Yeah, gray is cursed, but this is showing it's blue. Doesn't mean that it's good magic.
June will just
This
drop the lens into her sleeve. Well, my lens isn't telling me anything, so... Looks to the druid and the paladin.
It makes sense though. Why would she come here? And have you heard of?
For instance.
Have any of you heard of a Flozex?
Make a
I think Jack had something about them.
yeah, if you guys want to have no tail other than Nick's, you guys could try to get any more. You two would be at a lower DC, but if you guys want to make any kind of general idea of what a flow,
Would it be history or arcana?
I would say either or, whichever.
They're the same for me, so I'll try arcana. Fuck. Nat 20. What is with June today?
Alright. You know of Aflosix in the sense that it is essentially the plane of plane where anything and everything magical, not quite divine magic, but just if it's magical or it can be magical, weird, it's probably from Aflosix. And Aflosix is also known because you know those bedtime stories that parents make up to make their kids behave? They all it's from Aflosix. Or that the monsters from Aflosix.
Right.
Basically, Nix would say it's a real place, a real thing. We've met people from there.
I see.
Yeah, and then like Reeves points to his feather on his head.
Huh.
Okay, I'll explain. When we were in the Elderberry Woods, there was a problem. We helped kind of solve it. I don't feel like we did enough, but still, we helped them. What was her name? The spider lady.
Ugly spider lady, very mean.
Sylveth.
Okay, so basically, in Aflosix, depending on the time of year, they move, but depending on the cycle, whether it's nighttime or is it? It's confusing.
Summer or
It's
winter.
winter and summer.
Summer and winter. Yeah. Okay, I was right with the seasons. But basically, some of the species that can't handle the winter or the summer heat or winter cold are basically hibernate in the Elderberry Woods. It's an old truce that they formed. And Reeves, do you want to explain this, or should I keep going?
I mean, I think I can explain it. I honestly, I remember the story about the spiders and how there was a treaty formed that the spiders only came here to the Elderberry Woods just to hibernate and nothing else. And that treaty was broken. And we all think it's because of the spider lady. She decided to, I don't know, I think she was controlling them. After we killed her, the spiders went back to normal, and we were able to trade out the summer elf for the winter elf, and they went through the portal.
And then Nyx would go in to describe the way the forest looked.
It looked very bioluminescent-y and very dead in a way when tree, and that was from whatever was killing the forest in the first place, and it was all purpley, and there were like purple pustules.
Alright.
Does anyone? I return to Samson. Sorry, I interrupted what you were saying, but I'm sorry.
That's fine.
But she would turn to Samson. Is anyone currently ill from consuming any of the plants affected by the blight?
Well, I mean, a lot of them are, but I don't know anybody personally at the moment. To ask around, kind of everybody I know has done recently.
Well, before we go wandering off, June's gonna have to look at group. You can get a little closer to the tree and just examine it. Not touch it, but she wants to see what his Because I'm guessing he started glowing at this point.
A bit. He also looks blue, with general.
With the lens, but she's actually going to look at his aura color because on barbarians of that type, their aura indicates the school of magic.
I have no idea what that is.
Let me grab the PDF real quick. There it is. Because we're going to need it for this.
Here, I can just hit the thing on Beyond 20.
Please do. Yeah. So really, it's just down to what school of magic it is. Because Garut would actually be the one deciding the colors here.
Alrighty then.
Remind me
What school of magic are you?
remind me what all the schools of magic are. I'm unfamiliar.
Let's see if I can. How many I can add? Evocation, conjuration, and there.
Do you say evocation?
Yep.
I'm sick. I'm just going to go to wizard.
Transmutation, necromancy.
Yep.
Illusion.
Divination.
Abjuration.
Yeah, that one I was for fucking forget.
Necromancy. Yeah, I think we've got them all.
Ironically, missed the two most obvious ones: illusion and named off all the comp. Sound. Show me.
But yeah, what color? So yeah, Groot would. There, I think. So basically, there are 7 schools effectively. So it's just down to what colors Groot would associate with them.
Evocation, I would say orange. Illusion would be blue. Would be dark blue. Necromancy, purple. Enchantment, yellow. Transmutation, or red. Abjuration, gold. And conjuration would be a much darker shade of purple.
All right.
Now the question is, what color is Garut?
I have a cheat sheet about the schools of magic.
My toe hurts.
Is essentially the tomato analogy,
Yep.
but with the schools of magic. But I don't.
I see your tomato when I eat it.
Nope, I do. Aha! Let's see. Illusion. Click into therapy. Protect the frog, kill the frog. Frog. Protect the frog. You know, it's actually a toad, not a frog the whole time. So Groot would be the evocation color. I forgot which one that one was.
Orange.
Alright, so you see an orange aura off of Garut if that is supposed to react to whatever magic he's
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, you see something of evocation around him because this is a magical poison, if you will, for lack of a better.
Okay, that's a start.
That is just killing. That is just killing plants, but in a more complicated way because it.
Okay, I'm just gonna. June's gonna go over to Jack, who's probably just standing there. She's gonna get her gear that she normally uses for harvesting mercury. Pull on the thick gloves.
Alright.
Puts on a little, basically a cloth respiratory mask that Genji would have had her use.
Uh-huh.
And she's just going to. Before she does that, she's gonna ask if she's able to take 1 or 2 of these fruits so she can study them.
I mean, yeah, nobody's been careful.
Yep. She's just gonna carefully remove them and put them in a pouch.
Alright.
And then she's just gonna look to Reeves and Nyx. Nyx, why don't you see if you can pick up anything? I know paladins can do something. Reeves, can you take a look at the tree?
I can with what? I'm sorry.
Make
Just as
nature
a
check,
druid.
I guess.
Hmm.
Make a nature check, see what you can derive from.
I'll help him.
Alright, so with advantage.
Put more points into my nature shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just your wisdom.
Of course, June is not going to ask for any help
Nature's
with the fruit.
intelligence. Nature's intelligence.
Yep.
Oh, it is?
Mhm.
Yeah, it is.
Mm.
Whoops.
Smart boy.
No.
He's got a 0 modifier.
That still
Yeah.
makes him a smart boy. That makes him an average smart boy.
I am Nyx is the opposite, but she's helping.
She's trying her
Yep.
best.
So roll at advantage.
Like survival is wisdom. Nature's intelligence.
That's a 15.
I help.
Yeah, I mean, this definitely like a modified or different type of effect that elderberry woods had from its own blood or poison that it while you were there.
Damn.
You gather that perhaps this looks slightly different because this isn't happening on a because the whole of elderberry woods section of an Alflosian forest put into the material plane. This is a material plane plant being affected by an Alflosian blight. So you figure that's why it's reacting a little differently than what you saw.
What is it doing here? That's the question.
Is it possible when Spider Lady said she wanted to be back on the material plane? Is it possible she started attacking other places? Is it possible?
You gather that because that she stayed inside of, but it is entirely possible that all tried their best, mostly efficient. A couple of spiders could have slipped through and out of and escaped the elevator entirely, and somehow, either on purpose or accidentally, somehow poisoned this town. That raises the other question: how did the spider far across the island/country
Hmm.
without being seen or killed beforehand?
Hmm. Is it possible that lady might also have a cult that worships her?
Yes and no. From the bantering with her, it from the material plane. So it's very unlikely that somebody worships her here.
Let's see.
And she also looked like a different breed of spider. This is the same. This is from the spiders that committed suicidal genocide on themselves to poison the forest, and Sylveth was a different type of spider, even if she wasn't a spider lady.
Hmm.
Hmm.
We should go see if we can find either the corpse of one of those spiders, or maybe like something along those.
Huh. I'd say check with your divine sense first out of character. June will just look at Nyx when she says that, though. See if anything extra planar is going on that isn't Fae, though. She's looking at one of the fruit in her glove.
Nyx will use her divine sense. Basically, it's. I know most people are like, it's silent, doesn't do anything, but for Nyx, it's her basically black eyes turn turn bright white, and kind of all her veins around her eyes glow.
Hmm.
And yeah, that's how her divine sense kind of looks.
All right.
All right. What does that exactly do? You.
So from basically location of any celestial, fiend, or undead within 60 feet. This is not behind. That's not behind total cover. You know the types of celestial, fiend, or undead of any being whose presence you sense, but not its identity. So basically, you can say, "Oh, it's a vampire," but you can't say specifically what type of vampire it is
or who it
something like
is.
that. Or who it is. You can also detect presence of any. Within the same radius, you can also detect the presence of any place or object that has been consecrated or desecrated, as with the Hollow spell. So it's. I think they get. I don't remember what type of paladin gets yet. I think there's another ability that does the thing I think it does. Or it's a spell that I'm thinking of.
It might be a spell. You might be thinking of detect evil and good.
Yeah, I don't get that spell for a while. I don't remember what spell, like a level spell, but
It's probably, I think it's second or third level.
yeah, I don't get those spells for a while.
But yeah.
Alrighty. So you don't sense anything around you, celestial and you just kind of, yeah, no, there's nothing celestial or undead around you.
And no fiends, right?
Nope, nothing fiendish.
Nyx blinks a few times. It takes a second for all of the residual power to die away from her eyes.
Oh, which god did you want to worship again? I forgot, and it was kind of.
I don't know. Paladins kind of don't.
They're more of an oath thing.
Yeah, but
It's more about-
or at the very least, like which kind of god, like would you associate?
something to
Because
do.
you would still have a holy symbol of that god, but
It'd be something to do with life and creation and the and it's hard to say because it's a lot to do with her
Creation
oath.
would probably be a way,
Okay,
since she is creating first,
then that's
and then
that.
Seerdor is more or less credited with perfecting the art of creating life, but Oasis is credited with being the first one to create life.
right.
Yeah, it's probably Oasis then.
Alrighty. So, you quote unquote worship the goddess of water and the oceans, the one credited with creating life.
Thankfully, you don't draw all your power from them.
Yeah, that's the thing. How much of the orchard is there?
There's about an acre's kind of split between like this row is this type, this row is this type. Kind of goes in like 2x2 rows that span the acre.
Yeah.
Like this is an apple section, this is a peach section, this thing that can be of.
Yep. Let's see. June will put the fruit back in the pouch and she'll put it with the other toxic substances, not on her.
Alright.
How deep does the blight go?
It's kind of sporadically spread. It's not always like.
Okay.
Like you kind of find like row, like one area in each row that seems to be affected by blight.
Okay.
And you see the efforts to try to stop it with like troughs of water that you're not sure why they're placed there, and there's nobody here to.
Hmm.
Nix knows from experience that she can't like put her hand on the tree and cast to like lay on hands to fix this. This was her first instinct, but then she remembered. Okay.
Let's see. June's just pondering at this point. She's put her gloves back in the case,
Hmm?
making sure to disinfect them away from the trees. She actually wanders a good bit off to a path.
Alright. It takes you a little bit, but you want to kind of find them easily enough through some of the thinner trees and kind of make your way over.
Yeah. Just
You know, you got big lizard men, you got
pretty
two
easy.
trident people.
Pretty easy to spot.
Find your people. It's not hard to find your friends from a distance. It's a matter of getting there.
Basically, the disinfectant she used wasn't alcohol. Genji would have given, if they're okay with this, she would have given her a weak acid that can't do damage but is good for cleaning. So she uses it to get toxic substances off the leather.
Alright.
I have an idea, actually. I'm going to try to find a tree that's blighted but not as devastated by the
Alright. I'll say that you look for a tree that only has a couple of blighted fruit, versus like half or a quarter of the whole tree, and yeah, you find something like that. What do you want?
hmm. Nix is gonna. Someone might stop her before she does this. She starts to go to put her hand on it.
June's just gonna grab her hand like, no. Bad idea. Very
Let me
bad
do
idea.
I have.
I should at least try and figure out how this poison works first.
I'm not. I have an idea. If you want me to do it in a safe way, then it's just the safer way to do this.
One sec. From what I know, paladins don't actually have to put their hands on skin to an object. She'll just
I
grab
have
her.
to be in physical. I have to be in physical contact with it.
Yes, but not skin to skin. You just have to have something. Anyway, just brings her gloves back and slides them on the Nix's hands real quick. Just use these. They're meant for
Okay.
handling something dangerous.
Mm.
Plus, they're
Nix
natural materials, so it won't be an issue.
Nix puts her hands on the tree. Says a prayer to Oasis, and attempts to pump her lay on hands into this tree because it's a living thing. And see if that helps fight off the blight.
You try to find a spot on the tree where you can see some of the blight, and it's not a very wide tree. It's about 5 inches wide, and you just kind of put your hands on the greenish areas on the tree, like you had seen on the other. And you do, and when you pump what little lay on hands you actually have, you see the veins start to recede a little, but to where it seems significant. Like you've seen that magical healing, and not a very significant.
June's just watching this. Okay. It kind of works. But I don't think your lay on hands will be enough. Let's, one sec. She's gonna walk over. Okay, shoot, I keep forgetting names. What is our guide's name again?
Samson.
Just walk over to Samson. Can you show me all the places that have been blighted if I get a map?
I mean, I can try. I'd have to gather to get more, but I mean, I can give you general area.
All right.
It's been affected the most. Kind of affected everywhere at this.
Okay. Can you show me the places where it started then, if I get a map?
Well, it definitely started in some of the larger areas.
All right.
Very
June's like,
affected
let's go
directly.
let's go get a map real quick, and then we can do this.
Yep. All right.
As
I know a guy.
Yep. Basically, June is going to get a map for this, and she's going to pull out her black. Actually, no, she's going to pull out her red pen that she got from the city.
All right.
Since it never runs out of ink, may as well get use out of it.
Yeah.
And she's going to have
college
him.
Kid items.
Yep.
College kid magic.
Yep, she's just going to hand him the pen and ask him to mark the places on the map.
All right. You guys go to a place, and then you head to a few other places, some other, well, in some more areas.
Yep.
Like you go to some people who handle furs, more tropical things, more, definitely like more fruits and more vegetables and more, like herbs and things. You kind of gather a good cluster of people, and they all kind of mark places on the map where they're
Alright.
affecting it. A couple of them give you good percentage of their crop has been affected by it, but some of them just kind of give you general areas.
June makes sure each spot is marked with a number of when it appeared to have gotten blighted.
Alright, you don't so much get exact dates as much as you get.
But just like in order of when.
Like a week ago, 4 days ago, week and a half ago,
Yeah.
weeks ago.
As this is going on, I'm gonna talk to everyone who shows up, and just ask them questions if they've seen any new people have come into the town besides us. Anyone, any other person, any person in the town they know of who's been acting odd or different.
I'm gonna say make a persuasion check, just because you're a weird Triton looking. Nobody's ever seen your kind before. So, some people are a little iffy, some people are like, hell yeah, I'll get. I don't trust you, you're
Someone help me with this.
Your charisma based, you got this.
Since June's getting people to help with the map, June would that provide the help action effectively?
I'll say that'd be great, because you're just making sure everybody marks down things and you're painting a map. Nyx is more or less talking
that's
to
fair.
them.
But a 14 isn't bad.
It's okay.
I mean,
A 14 isn't bad against people who don't. Go ahead.
You present yourself as non-threatening enough to where a lot of people are like, yeah, okay, you're helping. Everybody pretty much tells you, while they haven't quite seen much of anything, they've heard a couple of rumors that a creature that killed far road, and just purple and weird and not from here, and that a little after that creature was killed, or at least that they heard of that creature, some adventurer, that they had been experiencing the blight a little, but it was like 2 weeks after that had happened, and so it was like, is it really coincidental? Probably not, but it's. Some people do kind of pitch the idea that maybe that creature had something to do with it.
What does the creature look like again? Sorry.
You remember the spiders looking like big ass fucking spiders with kind of glowing purple stripes on their leg, on their abdomens, with like purpley eyes.
and you know them as Knight from Afloze. So while you know this, they don't really have any kind of concrete information what the creature looked like, except that whatever adventurer that came by boasting about how they killed this creature said that it was like big as a giant and legs and was probably over exaggerated. But
Who's the
from the
adventurer who
basics,
killed it?
from the base description, it sounds like an over romanticized, exaggerated description of one of these.
Yeah. I would ask. Who is the adventurer who killed it?
Nobody quite knew their name, and they really just kind of for lives and food, a place to stay in. But they left a memorable impression with their boasting and gloating creature, but they never actually had proof.
Hmm.
They could, oh, it's a boy cry. They actually killed such a horrifying creature. They would have come back proof and like a leg. They all kind of played it off as, a boy crying wolf to get attention.
By this point, would June have been able to come over with the map?
Yeah, after about a couple of hours,
Okay.
more people showed up and
Alright.
word had gotten out, a place to plot down all the blight situations, so more people came around. You have a pretty heavy area.
Alright.
Own little personal farms or large
June would have numbered them in order based on when it happened, not by date, but by time frame.
Alright.
So number of days, basically.
Alright.
And if Nyx tells her about this, she would have someone mark that location they were talking about.
It was over by the road, and actually kind of near or at least near that forest, even though I forgot what that forest was called. Zroll Woodlands. That's what it was called.
Okay. Alright. Now that's been done. Judah's going to lay the map out, take out her blue pen, and if anyone wants to help with this, I would like to make an investigation check on all the markings that she's had made to see if she can find some kind of pattern or correlation with what's been happening.
Alright.
I'll help.
Alright. And that's a 20. Not a nat 20, but a soft 20.
A dirty 20, if you will.
There you go.
I stole that from another stream. Yeah, I mean, there's not so much of a pattern as much as there is, like, if somebody did really sabotage this place versus somebody just coming in and doing a very good job poisoning the food.
Yeah.
It's like I said, it's not so much of a pattern as much as it is just someone doing a very good job. If this was really somebody, it doesn't seem like it's so much started in one place as what started in several places around the same time frame, and then spread from there, and only overs.
If
no places have really been avoided, every type of farm has been hit at least once, and then it's grown out.
Based off of the map, if I was a person who was doing this, what would the next place I would hit? Like, based off of the information that we have. What are the variables there?
Everywhere's been hit, so at this point you would probably just want to make the bigger places worse. Like the orchard you just visited, probably just want to make that orchard even more infected and quicken the process of the spreading. But other than that, everywhere has been pretty well affected.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Huh. I'm starting to wonder if there's something like a central location that, while affected, isn't as bad.
Hmm.
You do notice that someone did mention while talking to Nix that Needles Meadery have business but seem to be lefted because they farm
Hmm.
and they seem to have like a safer farm, a harder to get into farm, and you're not sure like how that is familiar with here, but other people who are familiar, the way that they farm their particular or their business, uh, so they're beekeeping, but whatever they do for their farms, it's well secured. Blight has, and for whatever reason, it's because they have good security, which kind of leads you that this isn't,
Hmm.
or that they are the ones doing it.
This instantly makes June suspicious.
Maybe
Either
why
they
don't we
are the
pay them?
culprits, or they are the next target.
We should pay them a visit, shouldn't we?
Indeed. June will roll up the map. And she's just
Make sure.
gonna slide it, and since Jack is just there, into his belt, like, here you go. The wizard gets a map.
All right, of town, the town of Halle.
Yeah.
Can I help you?
With a bunch of colorful lines on it.
Thanks, Onyx Meyer, for your college kid magical school supply.
I mean, they're useful.
Yeah,
Good God.
they're useful for college kid people. Like that was a city built for.
Yeah.
They were like, you know what? I'm gonna make it easier. I'll have
Still.
shoelaces that tie themselves when you click the heels of the button.
Still, it's about 1:30 in the morning on my end. We should probably stop.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like almost 2:30.
Yeah. We should call it here.
Uh,
For now, I think, out of character, I think our next course of action should be to investigate / stake out this location. Is everyone in agreement?
Sure.
I apologize if you hear my cat and then you.
It's fine.
Dang. Man, I was like, man, I can't wait to solve this. And then Bone. And then Bone, oh daddy. I say that, but his wife probably got killed by the blight. And that's just my.
Yeah. That reminds me, for the next week, I've got to work on some stuff for June. I need to make her a whole list of I am the terror that stabs in the night that I can only use once.
You gotta make a whole new list of old
I feel like
backstab people.
I feel like you know, the funny thing is, I feel like Darkwing Duck did the same thing where he had a whole book of those things and he had to cross them off every time he used them. But I'm gonna end the recording here.